this match.
But a big one for this man, Tony Lockett. The last time he will play here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, he debuted in 1983 in round 5 for the Saints on this ground when they played against Sydney, and for the Swans his debut was in round 2, 1995. Hasn't he made a name for himself and for Australian football in this city? The banner's a beauty, and so's the bloke who's about to run through it. He's an icon in Australian sport. He deserves every applause that he'll receive here today, and for the 3rd time at the Sydney Cricket Ground this year, he is the centre of attention, just as he was against West Coast in round 9 and against Collingwood in round 10 when he was seeking the Coventry record. And as I said today, his last day at the SCG. Still 2 to go after this, but boy, doesn't he want to win. Hello, welcome. This should be a terrific football match. Tony Lockett obviously is on centre stage, but there's a whole lot to look forward to. His record at the Sydney Cricket Ground is a very impressive one, as you would expect. In fact, his record at Moorabbin's been a great one over the years, and also at Waverley Park, where ironically he will play his last game, all being well, in about 3 weeks' time. I say last game, well, the Swans would like to think that's not the case, because they're in a great position to make it through to the finals. There's Lockett against Adelaide. That's interesting, isn't it? Look how much success he had for the Saints. Averaged 7.5. He actually hasn't done as well, nowhere near as well, for Sydney. So the Crows would take a little bit of heart from all of that. Well, Neil Curley's working the boundary line today, as he always does in Adelaide Crows matches. He's talked to Michael Blight a few times over the years, but today he's with Rodney Eady.
Well, Rodney, the road to the finals, the hurdles are getting a little bit higher.
Yeah, it's getting very tight. There's 6 or 7 teams now with all chances of getting in. So I think the good thing is that our fate's in our own hands, and that we don't have to rely on anyone losing. So hopefully we can get a win today, and hopefully some win in the future weeks.
With Tony announcing his retirement, I guess you've tried to keep a bit of a lid on it so it doesn't affect the players that much?
No, that's right. That was only announced this week because it's our last home and away game, so it's just a bit of a chance for the fans to say goodbye to him. Yeah, that we can't afford to get distracted. I think there's enough motivation for us to win anyway, which we need to, as we said before, to get into the 8. So I don't think we need to use Tony as false motivation.
Losing young goods, that makes Greg Stafford a very, very important player for you.
Yeah, Greg's only been back 3 weeks. Obviously, Adam's had a very good season, and we probably missed him a little bit last week. But Greg started to play some good footy the last half last week, so hopefully he can play a good full game today.
Rod, thanks for your time. All the best for the finals.
Thanks, Neil.
The 1999 AFL Coca-Cola Premiership season, partly brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. The McDonald's Footy Burger, the double quarter pounder with cheese. Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshment, and the new Mitsubishi Magna 3.5, the next generation.
Big welcome to Doug Hawkins. Doug, can they keep the emotion out of the match?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but it's going to be very hard with Plugger's last game here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. I think they might be able to, but it's going to be very, very tough to do that.
Teams as selected. Let's have a look at some of the matchups and playmakers. Firstly, Creswell and Schwartz are a couple of beauties for the Swans.
Well, they certainly are, there's no doubt about that. And Darren Creswell last week was absolutely outstanding, had 30-odd touches. The thing about Creswell, he's used the ball so well, and the thing about him too, he gets the ball out of the centre so many times for the Sydney side. And on this ground, it's a very, very important thing. But Wayne Schwartz last year back into the Brownlow medal. This year's probably been more consistent than last year, and like Darren Creswell, used the ball so well. Here's Mark Rashudo for the Adelaide Crows. The last 4 or 5 weeks been coming off a half-back flank, and the thing about Mark Rashudo, he canked the ball nice and long in the forward line. Andrew McLeod, well, what a superstar player. He's just got that ability to do things that most players can't do, and he's a very, very special player, Bruce.
Matchups, do you think Wharf will get Jarman?
I reckon Wharf might. Rowan Wharf had a great start of the year. He got injured and missed a fair bit of football. But I just reckon Rowan Wharf, he does play on a half-back flank, but Darren Jarman is a very, very important player down in the forward line for the Adelaide Crows. He's their goal kicker, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Rowan Wharf get that job on Darren Jarman. Darren Jarman, all he needs is 5 or 6 kicks, Bruce, and he can kick 4 or 5 goals for you and certainly do the job for you.
Pittman and Lockett's interesting. The tip is that Bassett could be the man. It's hard to know, isn't it?
Well, Pittman's played there in the past, Bruce, but of course with Sean went out of the side, they really do lack a quality ruckman, so don't be surprised that Pittman does start in the ruck and Nathan Bassett gets that very important job of playing on Tony Lockett for the last time at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
So that will be one to watch out for at the start of the match. Kelly and maybe Costa to run with him?
Yeah, I reckon Kim Costa may get the job on Paul Kelly. What a great captain. I'm pretty sure he'll be very keen to do very well in Tony's last game. And what a great leader he's been over many years. And of course, Kim Costa always gets the opposition best player when he does tag. Don't be surprised Costa does get the job on Kelly.
So there's a lot of talent all around the ground, not just at full forward. Big crowd building up, as you would expect. We'll be back with the opening bounce. Right after this, it's the Crows visiting Sydney at the SCG, and they're playing for a spot in the finals in 1999.
The AFL.
And welcome to the SCG. I'm in good company. Only 7 men have played 350 games. Doug is one of them, and Kevin Bartlett's one of 2 to have played 400 kb. Welcome. Big day here with Tony Lockett.
It certainly is, and big crowd coming in as well into the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's going to be a fascinating game. Sydney, of course, in the top 8 at the moment on percentage after St Kilda lost yesterday, but Adelaide's still a chance also, so a lot to play for today.
And the King Curly played about 316 games in South Australia. Every one of them a BOG. Neil, welcome.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Well, there, for the viewers, there is a strong breeze to the left of the screen, and as we all know, centre clearances on this ground are vitally important because players breaking do look for the goal square movement.
Swans going to the left. Bassett has got the job on Lockett to start, and Pittman and Stafford. That'll be a good duel. Smart got it from McLeod. I reckon we're going to have to call them a lot, those names. Pittman, Smart, McLeod, if the Crows are to win today. Getting in hard with Burton, been one of the rookies off this year. Lewis, Dale Lewis, so the Swans with the edge with a win. Big fly coming in from Bolton from the side and cruising through for goal. The Swans are on the board in the first minute of the game. Bolton's got it. Terrific start for them after the Crows had hit half forward pretty hard. And I think Burton might be hurt here.
It looks like it might be, maybe, Bruce, it could be Kane Johnson down on the ground. Yeah, it looks like maybe Kane Johnson on the ground. It's a great start, Bruce. You're absolutely spot on there. He's in a bit of trouble here at the moment, young Kane Johnson. The stretcher now has been brought onto the ground. That's a bad start for the Adelaide Crows, but a good start for the Swans. Here's the injury now with Kane Johnson. He tried to fend off, looked like Jared Crouch or
Matthews.
Matthews was okay, yeah. Young Ben Matthews. We might have caught a little bit high there, KB.
Just went down in that collision there, so he's in a little bit of spot of bother, and it's a shame because he's a very important player. In fact, he's played 2 great grand finals and premierships for the Adelaide Crows, and last year he went into the midfield after half-time along with Andrew McLeod in that grand final. He was one of the absolute stars for the Adelaide Crows.
Particularly too, KB, when you look at the Sydney Swans midfielders, you look at Creswell, Kelly and Swass. He would have been a very important player. I wouldn't be surprised if he may have had the job on Swass too, so that's a big blow for him at this stage.
Sure is. He did the job on Harvey too in 97, didn't he, in that grand final? Neil, you'd know the importance of Johnson to this team as Brett James, another dual premiership players coming onto the ground.
Yes, Johnson is a very, very good player. He does, unfortunately, suffer from a lot of injuries. I don't know why. Maybe it's one of those types of players, but when fit, he is a very valuable member of the team.
Re-signed recently with the Crows, but there's a lot of speculation, Neil. I think prior to the St Kilda victory a couple of weeks back, he re-signed just after that, so he's getting a good hand. This is how it happened. Is it his ankle, did he?
Yeah.
Could be his ankle by the look of it.
And the boy that kicked the goal, Jude Bolton, I've just seen him a couple of times on the tally, Bruce. He's very hard at it. It looks like he's one of those players who's really going to make his mark in the game.
It was Luff the Flyer. I called it Bolton. It was Luff the Flyer, and Bolton crumbing really well.
Yeah, yeah, right, Bruce. Yeah, Luff's playing at centre-half forward. Ben Hart's got the job. Ben Hart's playing at centre-half back. Mark Rashudo's played half-back over the last 4 or 5 weeks. He's playing on the dangerous Michael O'Loughlin. And it looks like Andrew Dunkley is playing at full-back. He's picking up Darren Jarman.
And Curls, Bassett has got the job on Tony Lockett. Did you expect that? Because they did name Pittman in the paper.
Well, Pittman has posed him before and done a reasonably good job, but Bassett, of course, is the full-back, and I guess that's what you start with first.
So bad luck for Kane Johnson and for the Crows. They've had a wretched run with injuries this season.
Well, the Swans would be buoyed, wouldn't they, in the fact that they're in the top 8, Bruce, after St Kilda losing yesterday, and all of a sudden, you know, on percentage they're there. So they've got tremendous incentive today as we see Stafford comes charging, got into the back of his opponent there in Pittman. Will take the free kick. There's so much football this year. It means a lot to the Crows. Up towards centre-half forward. Benke comes out hard, tries to take on the second grab, and he's got it. Had a terrific game against Carlton a few weeks back. Had Anthony Koutoufides moved off him. He's a strong mark and usually a very good kick.
That's very true, KB. This boy is capable of taking a very, very good overhead mark.
Playing there out in front of Seymour. So Benke from 55 metres unloads, goes right to the line. Great kick. Thump back into play. chance for Jarman. Takes it over the line for a boundary throw-in.
So Dunkley with Jarman. It's going to be one of the pivotal duels in this match. Crows deep in attack. Swans lead by that goal. Burton over the top. Unable to get through and held up by Schwartz, and it'll be a bounce about 30 metres from the Crows' goal. They've had a great record here over the years, having won 5 out of 7 and a good record against Sydney, full stop. Creswell missed it, so did McLeod. Schwartz off the ground. They've almost got it outside the 50. Crouch able to get it right down to centre wing. O'Loughlin with those beautiful skills. That was wonderfully done. And now finds some space. Goes up towards half forward. Kelly uses his body. Now Rashudo's on Kelly for the moment. He was on O'Loughlin early. And terrific tackle there coming in from Bolton on Pittman. Kelly also ridden down into the ground. The Roo comes away. That's Rashudo. To Hart, who's had a super year. Gives it on to Pittman. Pittman at half-back. Delivers the ball almost to half-forward. Outnumbered is McGregor. And a pretty safe mark and a cosy mark in the end to Stafford.
Who does it pretty well. Builds the wall across half-back. Young McGregor, just 18 years of age. There's a poor kick. It's been taken by Atkinson. Played a couple of games with St Kilda back in '93. Winner of the McGarry medal. Gets his chance again now with the Adelaide Crows. There's Stafford.
Yeah, you're right there, Bruce. Goodwin now has the job on O'Loughlin, and Rashudo's gone and Paul Kelly's playing forward for the Swans.
Swash averaging 27 possessions a game. Puts Stafford under a lot of pressure. Finally forced back over the line. Toss back in. Curls, you got the bench there for Adelaide?
Yes, we have James Rods, of course, he's on now, so the bench is Bond, Stevens, Orman Allen, and of course the injured Johnson.
Boundary throw in O'Connor, the Rhino. Gives it down to Nix. Had it and lost it, taken away by Costa. Feeds the ball out to James. They share the ball around Costa on centre wing, around the body. Binky comes in, but well beaten this time. A very strong mark been taken by Matthews.
To Nix, who's been playing loose in defence. Fine player, Nix. Goes in short. Was probably meant for Philandia. Creswell got his first hand on it. Free kick coming to Philandia for a high tackle. Back in the team today.
Yeah, definitely a free kick there against Mark Bickley. Way too high.
Every tackle would have to be high, wouldn't it?
he must be just about, or liver, I guess, is about a half a centimetre shorter. There's not much in it. But Philandia kicks the ball to centre wing. Fly at the back came from Rashudo. Burton's handball, missed everything there. Taken by Walk, was pretty good to Luff. Hart, clever. Missed there by Jamison. Binky caught up by Luff. They'll look for a free kick to Swans, but good decision. Ball up, didn't have a chance to get rid of it. 3 Swans around Binky. Now, who's on the bench for the Swans, Neil?
Yes, we have Maxfield, Feast, James, Kirk.
Well, Kirk, of course, just playing his second game, booted 3 goals last week on debut, so an interesting player to come off the bench. Young Heath James, the son of Max James, a former Swans player. They picked him up under the father and son rule. As you see, the ball tumbles over the line.
And a couple of important midfield matchups here. Wayne Swass, young Brody Atkinson had the job on Wayne Swass. Criswell and McLeod are running together, and Kim Costa's playing the wing on Dale Lewis.
And did you suggest, Stoke, that there was some doubt about McLeod before the start of the game?
There was some doubt. There's been word going around the Century ground, KB, that he may not have taken his place, but he definitely is out there, so could be a bit of fitness cloud on him.
Well, he just saw the ball go over the line then. Curls, did you know anything about that? We'll come back to Curls. He's having a siesta.
Nice sunny day out there, KB.
Smart at the back of the pack. Ball just thumped straight back over the line. Walk can't control it. Again, a boundary throw-in.
I think Neil was trying to find out about Kane Johnson, exactly his situation.
That's dead right. I'm just going through it again now.
Girls, McLeod, you can hear me. Was there any doubt about McLeod?
No, he's fine.
Yep. Okay, Atkinson's little handball to Lewis. James, Luff. Handball back into Beauty to Schwartz. Well, that was an interesting one because Smart was always in a good position. Gee, did that well, Smart. Atkinson is only really been struggling with groin injuries. Luff, Schwartz, that's better. Creswell, Crouch, handball, not so good, but well played by Nix. Creswell went to ground and then handball to Stafford. Jamison got a hand in to James. No free kicks coming, and it'll be a ball up. So the Crows into the breeze. It's hard to tell here. Here's the Schwartz handball. It was an interesting decision, wasn't it?
He tried to get the Rowan Wharf there. He's got the job on Nigel Smart, who's playing half-forward line for the Adelaide Crows. The Sydney Swans are under enormous pressure. There's probably 6 or 7 handballs that put each other under pressure.
It was a poor option and a poor execution, so it was a double banger. McLeod, Creswell, back to Lewis, tight into the pocket. Belton, Plucker's got a chance. It's a goal! It's a goal to Lewis from nowhere!
Beginning tonight, 7 brings you a television event.
We're losing our brakes. We can catch it.
Speeding wildly out of control.
It's carrying a nuclear weapon.
Nothing can stop it.
Fire a missile at that train, we'll have a nuclear disaster. Oh, my God.
No way to escape.
There's 1 million residents. Rush to evacuate.
Just hold your breath. Tonight and tomorrow, 8:30.
Great start by the Swans. 2 straight goals, 12. The Crows yet to score. They've already lost Kane Johnson. Leg injury. Crouch from the centre square. Inside 50. Luff, the juggler, does well. Feeds the ball off Kelly. Point blank range. Bangs it through.
Yeah, brilliant play here by the Sydney Swans, and be fair to say it all started in the centre bounce. The big fella there, Greg Stafford, got a hand on the ball. He tapped it forward. Rushed out there by Jared Crouch. His kick just went into the forward line for the Sydney Swans. Troy Luck, good ball control and great vision over his shoulder to find the skipper, Paul Kelly. As we mentioned, is playing in the forward line today, being picked over Mark Lasciuto, so that's a great goal for the Sydney Swans.
They're off to a fly now, the Swans. Luff's been important at centre-half forward on Ben Hart. Just getting a few touches. So Sydney with a flying start. Pittman and Stafford, that's going to be a huge battle in the centre square. They're going to have to ruck for much of the day. Creswell there, that'll be a hard centre square today with all the rain. And now the sun drying it up and the ball up again.
Bruce, just talking to Rodney off camera before the game, he was a little concerned over the Lockett announcement this week, just hoping that the players wouldn't be too revved up and make too many errors. But they've started very well.
They certainly have, Neil. No doubt about that. And they've got the score on the board. Lewis couldn't get clear. Costa was good there. Tries to battle through. Schwass rides him into the ground. McLeod, clever. Very clever. The handball cut off. James then couldn't take it cleanly. Beautifully picked up by Burton. The handball, well, a bit behind Bickley, but then he butters up and does it again. Floats one to centre-half forward as a poor kick. Ball came off Edwards. Well done by Saddington to Matthews to Creswell. There's some good footy being played to Bolton on the lead. Kelly hard and far within the roo. Kelly takes him on. If he kicks this, it'll be a beauty. He's missed. It's a behind. Could have run all the way, Adelaide. He looks sharp too, Curls, does Kelly, doesn't he?
He really does. Well, of course, Lockett's his best mate, so I guess he's going to give him everything he's got.
Just shown a lot of speed there to get away from Mark Lasciuto. It's very quick over 5 metres as well. Probably had 2 teammates, probably short. He could have gave a handball. Paul Kelly kick, decide to have a shot. When you have a shot, you've got to kick those goals. But
great
still
acceleration, fantastic acceleration. Get away from Lasciuto. Crows yet to score. They trailed by 19 points. Stafford was there. The big fist that actually came from Pittman. Jude Bolton, impressive young player, rockets the ball out wide. Cruz with a playmaker. Swans stands and delivers and nails it.
The Paris-Dakar Rally, 7,000 kilometres across the scorching deserts of North Africa. In a race that most don't even finish, the mighty Pajero has dominated. Its nearest rival, the mid-sized Mitsubishi Challenger. Now Mitsubishi has developed the Pajero EO, all the toughness and durability you'd expect, but in a more compact form. Mitsubishi, the toughest four-wheel drives from here to Timbuktu. It is Mitsubishi.
They're away now, the Swans, 25-0.
And I think we'll find, boys, Lockton has gone to the wing.
Costa's now on him, Neil. Stafford beating Pittman and belting forward worth the kick. Bolton's been terrific on Jamison early. Jamison, the veteran, Bolton, the kid. Then Jamison good enough to get it to Goodwin, to Atkinson, to McLeod. McLeod delivers. Jarman on the lead with Dunkley. Dunkley able to push it forward. Crouch to Dunkley. Well played, James. He was terrific. And he actually won a free kick. He might have been a bit lucky. Certainly, in the end, it was a free kick. But I think when Hayden Kennedy blew the whistle, there wasn't much in it at that stage, but oh, there it is, he saw it. So James's free kick at half forward. He's got great handball skills, this fellow. Nothing much coming.
There's a crowded forward line there for him, Bruce, at the moment, Adelaide.
Pittman dropping back, delivers to centre half forward. Burton the fly, taking a beauty. He's a wonderful talent.
He's a major mark. He's probably third in line to get that mark. The job's been given to Jason Sannington at this stage of the game. Here we are, Brett Burton. We've seen him so many times this year take some brilliant marks. Look about young Burton now. He can get a lot of the football and does kick goals for the Adelaide side.
23 this year, and from point-blank range, he's put it through.
Aye, we were off for a wee break with the reins, and the collar was like a cow. And would you know about Kennett? Clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm stood there right glaikit with the reins shouting, "Oh, Farah, you ken you're nothing but a big dunderhead." So I skedaddled right into Ultratune and told the laddie about the clunk, clunk, clunk. He says, "Oh, your shock absorbers are out the windy, man," and made a rare job of them. Understood me perfectly, he did.
Swans by 19 points. Brett Burton. What a season he's had. We've seen anyone in their first year take so many great marks. I doubt it. Here's Kelly, the champ, goes to the ground. Quick on his feet, gets the ball back to Fleandia. Quick hands, he is super quick today. Kelly, who's looking for Plugger, who's way off target. Beats Bassett over the line.
Hey, boys, just confirming the Johnson injury. It is his left ankle, being assessed at this stage. Don't know if he'll take any further part in the game.
So let's hope that news is good for Kane Johnson. Big chance again for the Swans. Boundary throw-in, just 25 metres around from goal. Luff to do the ruck work. Pittman, too big. Does well to Atkinson. Picking up a couple of early touches. Clean bowl, smart. Also, Warp, look at Fleandia. Those legs pumping like pistons. Crashes into McLeod. They'll pile on top. Ball up on centre wing.
I think here we are. Here's the tackle here, KB. We did talk about Fleandia on the plane, KB, about the fact he's had 2 reconstruction, and at the size that he is, he's been terrific, and he's been a great player for the Swans.
Well, I think Bruce said before, maybe half a centimetre taller than Tony Liberatore. And speak of the devil, Fleandia feeds the ball back off to Creswell, the playmaker for the Swans. He's averaging 27 possessions. What a grab! Slip catch by Troy Luff. Plays on quickly. Too much carry on the ball. Taken by Costa.
Bad luck because he took a terrific mark, Luff. Costa at centre-half back. So Crow steadied a bit here. They got a very important goal into the breeze. Costa keeps it low. You can see the breeze hold it up, but Creswell takes the mark and then goes back to Nix, who's playing as a sweeper. Plugger's on the lead. It's a good kick. It was too much in the end. That breeze caught hold of that a bit. It's a bit of a fluky one too, Curls, isn't it, down there?
Yeah, and I think you have to assess it around about 2 to 3 goals. So, you know, the Sydney Swans that need this start.
Great mark here by Love. That is a terrific grab. Right forward pocket. Lockett and Pittman. The ball coming up short. Plugger right in there. Taken by Edwards. Good handball to Ben Hart. Ben Hart probably favoured for the best and fairest of the Crows this year. Into the centre. Nick's able to chop it off to Schwass. Talking of best and fairest, Schwass kicks the half-off ball. Gee, he's a good kid. Around the corner, bouncing ball. Lewis, Goodwin did that extremely well to Bickley. Bickley's kicked straight back to Schwass. Now, good umpiring. I'm glad he didn't fall for it. Wayne Schwass put on an Academy Award there and didn't get 50. Good umpiring.
Must be one of the favourites for the Brownlow medal, Wayne Schwass to Creswell. Both from averaging 27 possessions. So they're the 2 main midfielders for the Swans. Warp looking for Plugger. Again, forced under the ball. Boundary throw-in, 30 metres from goal.
You just hope they don't go too conscious of Sydney Swans of Tony Lockett being his last game here at Sydney. I don't think they will. They should use the ball very well, but if Plugger's there, I reckon kick it to him.
That was great news overnight with St Kilda being beaten for the Swans and then on percentage going into the top 8. So they've started this game full of confidence. Bolton goes to ground. Creswell again. Works very hard. Here's Bassett. Takes an easy mark in defence. Big job playing on Plugger. He played the 12 games last year. Bassett. Tyson Edwards. Last line of defence. 25 plays 6. The Swans have burst out of the blocks. Kicks the ball down. Burton. Thought he hadn't lost it. James will always set it up. Jamison, Atkinson through the centre square. Some strong tackling there by Sannington. He's been rewarded.
Yeah, great tackle here by Jason Sannington. As I said, got the job on Brett Burton, a big job for him.
There's Plugger. He's got it. Got some life in the old legs yet. He went at it, Doug. He had his eye on the ball. You could see Big Tony just launched himself. He's kicked 60 goals for the season. This is Lockett of old, getting off the ground.
Oh, one grabber. You love him, don't you?
That was vintage stuff.
It was vintage. It was vintage, yeah. He'll kick this.
Well, he takes his time. He's directly in front. He'll be kicking from 35 metres. Lockett, 6 times he's kicked a century of goals in AFL football. His last game at the SCG, kicks a goal.
When you've got a job to do, the best way to get 10 out of 10 results is teamwork. That's why with help from the teams at Mitre 10 at Wattle, you'll not only be a winner, you'll also be helping to support South Australia's favourite sons, the Adelaide Crows.
We got that here.
And that's gotta feel good.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Consecutive matches now. Plutter's kicked a goal in. Peter McKenna will hold the record at 120. Plutter's actually not going to get there now with the retirement, but what a record it is. We're about 8 minutes to go in this opening term, and it's 5-1 to a goal, so the Swans doing pretty well. Crouch gets it up, built it forward there by Matthews. Away, Luff's been pretty important early. Rashudo was good there to Hart. Hart, very good kick to Costa. Costa getting a couple of touches, a bounce, and then kicks the ball to half forward. It holds up, not a particularly good kick. McGregor made a contest there, and it was a good effort. Well done by Tyson. Swass getting involved. Tyson, Swass backtracking was clever enough. Ball coming out, comes off the feet of Tyson. In the end, I think the players have had enough of all of that, and they're going to bounce it.
Hey, Curl, what sort of window are we talking here going towards the Swans? Is a 3 or 4 goal win?
I'd say 2 to 3, and I think to be able to have a true reflection on this game, you'll have to wait till half-time.
Crows haven't had it forward too often, have they? Stafford building him back to Philandia. Philandia almost up to centre wing, tries to draw the man, then to Crouch. It was a poor option, really. James held up. Rashudo, hard body. Crouch and Kelly were hard at him. Roo showed a lot of courage there because they had the momentum, the Swan players. They were going to hurt him and crunch him. It didn't stop him going in, though.
Bruce, I was just about to put the call through to the ambulance. Is that a handball?
Yeah, it was one of those curls, but fortunately it was Rashudo at the other end because you knew he wouldn't backtrack. McGregor, Stafford, Philandia, pretty cute to Schwartz. It was just out. He did a good job, Schwartz, to keep it in. And the boundary throw in right in front of us. We're on the 7th floor.
Yeah, talking about inside 50, Bruce. Adelaide's only gone inside 54 times. Sydney Swans 11.
Stafford takes it out of the air. He's all tied up by Rashudo. And the raging bull dumps him. Well, 7 times these two sides have played at the SCG. And the Crows have won on 5 occasions, so they've got a great record. But Sydney has started well. They lead by 25 points. Stafford. Do the ruck work, just too tall for McGregor. James has pinched it. Tyson Edwards tries to weave his way out of trouble. He's all tied up.
What's happening here too, KB, at the moment? Got McGregor who's playing centre forward, being pushed up to go in the ruck. David Pittman's playing that loose man behind the play. He's about 5 or 10 metres in front of Tony Lockett.
So obviously Malcolm Blight's strategy is to get Pittman back there, playing that loose man in defence, like Scott Wine does so well for the Bulldogs. War was looking for Swash, trying to crash his way through was Bickley. Some untidy play, and again a ball up. It's on the half-forward flank, about 60 metres out from the Swans' goal. Already they've had 5 individual goal kickers. Swash, Lewis, Lockett, Kelly and Bolton, and Burton as the sole major for the Adelaide Crows. Pittman should get his hands on the ball first. Looks just too big and too tall at the moment. Again, a boundary throw in.
Yeah, so sorry, Bruce, so when the ball goes into the forward line for the Sydney Swans, like Greg Stafford's playing that kick behind, playing for the Swans as well.
So Pittman with that advantage. James unable to get through, and again a ball up. 5 minutes remaining in the opening term. 5-1 to a goal.
Just going back to that, Hawk, that is about the only time the Crows are getting ruck advantage. Now Stafford's back in there now.
They've always got Trent Orman-Allen to throw in there, Curl.
Right on someone's shoulders.
Stafford Pittman doing the roving. Yes, he did an incredible job, didn't he, against the Saints out at Waverley Park that day when Stevens was injured. Boundary throwing again in front of us.
Just touch on that, Bruce. It may not be that funny of a question here. Pittman goes over. He probably only got McGregor, and outside of him, he's only a young player. Who else can run for the Adelaide side? Same goes for really the Sydney Swans.
You have Stevens, of course. Yep.
Mark Stevens.
Stafford. Could I suggest, Doug, that everybody back in Adelaide's kicked their television set? Don't suggest Pittman's going to go over. They've had enough bad luck in the rucking division this year, I think, to last them for a decade, don't you?
Very cool.
If he does go down, Malcolm might throw Atkinson into the ruck.
Whatever. Well, Blighty could do anything. He's produced a timeout on Sportscore today. He reckons we should have timeouts in Australian footy for the coaches. And the advantage given to Edwards. Edwards towards full forward. Binky's on the back of it. Well, here's a chance. Now, this is an important kick. Remember what the King said on the boundary line? We'll probably know at half-time, the wind breeze. But if Adelaide can get a second one here, late in this first quarter, they wouldn't be all that unhappy with their lot, 5 goals to 2.
Yeah, certainly, Bruce. We all know in the Sydney Cricket ground, in a matter of 5 or 6 minutes, you can kick 4 or 5 quick goals. That is the nature of this ground.
Well, let's see if Binky can kick the goal. It's a good kick off the boot. It's fading away, but it's okay. It's a goal.
Nothing but quality Aussie dramas on 7. So you thought All Saints was only about paces?
You know me, Terry. I don't kiss and tell.
I've met someone who works here as a doctor, Mitch Stevens.
Mitch? So what do you reckon, they had a hot date or a dud?
Steph and I had a great night.
Lovely.
All Saints, 8:30 Tuesday. And there are some simple rules for a new blue healer. Don't upset the locals.
Someone's cut your brake lines.
And don't cross the boss. Stay out of it. Joe Parrish's stormy arrival in blue healers. Wednesday on 7.
Well, a goal to Benke a couple of weeks ago. I saw him against Carlton, and he had Anthony Koutafidis moved off him. So he can be a dangerous player on the forward line. Centre square, War. Didn't quite hit his target. Tyson intercepted well. Risciuto found his mark. And McLeod. Here comes Smart. He's crunched a few in recent weeks. Kicks the ball deep inside 50. Benke comes out again hard. Hands and knees. It was Dunkley. Seymour paddles the ball along. We'll be happy to see the ball trickle over the line. 31 plays 12. Seymour has got the job playing on Binky. In recent weeks and recent times, he's often pinch hitted up on the forward line. Seymour, but usually one of their best and toughest defenders. War runs into Nix, puts it straight over the line.
Just having a heat at the moment, KB. Looks like Dale Lewis is starting on the wing on Kim Costa. It's been a bit of a rotation system so far this first quarter. He's been changing a half-forward flank with Michael O'Loughlin. Now Lewis is back on a wing.
And there's Lewis there. He's actually got himself perched at centre-half back at the moment, so looks like Rodney Eade is flooding the defence when he gets the opportunity. McGregor to take the free kick. He's got a great future, this young man. He's only 18 years of age. Finds Risciuto. He's a good 70 metres out. Tyson Edwards is in the square. He's got Big Binky as well. He'll do the high flying. Ryan O'Connor got a fist to it. Jarman wants a free kick. O'Connor with strength does well. Gets it back out to Jude Bolton. Very impressed with Bolton. Can they keep the ball alive? They can.
Jamison goes back. Good kick. Gets to Tyson. Couple of kicks from goal. Centering kick. McLeod outnumbered. Lewis couldn't quite get to it. Cresel's back turn. Lewis clever enough. Gets the ball out of the danger zone. Schwass's handball. Wall Crouch was good enough to get the handball away. A very good hip and shoulder there coming from Crouch on Costa to hold him up. Handball going through the line by Wall to Lewis. Lewis, the plugger got him. For a free kick? No, Plugger's all right. I think the free kick advantage was given down the line. Lewis crunched after he kicked it. You can see then. And Lockett with the chance.
Just great play by the Sydney Swans. Just pushed the ball forward. Rowan War was crunched, but he got the ball out to a teammate. And Dale Lewis, as we all know, is a great mate of Tony Lockett. He absolutely repped with that pass. He would be Dale Lewis.
So the big fella, from 25 to 30 metres out, directly in front to kick his second goal for the day. Carefully. Drills it through. 2 to Plugger.
You can get it dipping. You can get it chipping. You can get it having a row. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter. You can get it lumping. You can get it thumping. You can get it any old how.
Matter of fact, I got it now.
Victoria Bitter.
Plugger has booted 62 goals for the season. Creswell brings so much of the ball. His partner in crime in Kelly. So the Swans looking dangerous. And towards the end of this first quarter, Goodwin just tumbles the ball back towards the centre square. Nick's got a bad bounce, trying to hit the ball hard with McGregor. Got clean bowled. Saddington, good hands, got his foot to the ball. Atkinson was the tackler. Warp. Wonderful play. Back to Creswell, edge of the centre square. He's gained, looking for Lockett. Bassett, good enough to get his foot to the ball. Sends it straight back over the line. Big Plugger came bearing down. Looks a bit fired up today. His last game at the SCG. That's his retirement during the week. He started well with 2 goals.
Great handball by Paul Kelly before over his shoulders. Absolute ripper.
Love to do the ruck work. He's been handy in this first quarter. He's doing the job at centre-half forward. Bolton couldn't find his mark in O'Loughlin. Costa, great tackle. Magnificent tackle by Stafford. Sets it up for O'Loughlin. Way off target. But what a tackle by Stafford.
Just great tackle, and the whole Sydney Swans so far tackled absolutely fantastic. Kim Costa had nowhere to go. Greg Stafford was absolutely fantastic, and their quick hands has been very good today too, the Sydney Swans.
I reckon as big as Stafford is, Costa would have said, beauty, it's not Plugger, when he was coming at him. Because it could have been anyone in that hole. Big kick out by Goodwin. Fly from Pittman. James on hands and knees. They're all over him. All holding this pretty well. It's hard from here to tell whether he had any hope of getting it out, but it's one of those tough rules, I think, on the bloke trying to get the footy. Anyway, Luff's got it. And he belts it in high. Plugger's going to have the drop. No, went early. No free kick. Bassett might have been stiff. Costa's got it. Still in the back pocket. Not sure. Plugger's got him, Billy. Costa's handball. There's a turnover. Little one from Kelly coming back in. And play on call. Crows. And Bassett concedes. So, in the end, there's almost a comedy of errors there.
Yeah, great chase by Tony Lockett. Kim Costa, as we said, is playing on a wing. We've got Wayne Squash has gone to wing now. That was just great work by the big fella, Tony Lockett. I mean, he was caught probably 3 metres behind him and just touched on the tackle. Sydney Swans had 12, to Adelaide only 4. Fair difference there.
38 plays 12. Just a few seconds left now in this first quarter. Here's Stafford. Well, a great tackle a few moments ago. Now a strong mark. And the siren, no go. This might be their last chance. Great pick up by Saddington. The siren sounds around the corner. He's off target. Minor score. But a good opening term by the Swans.
They were out of the blocks quickly, weren't they? And the signs have been good for them. Kane Johnson injured in that first term for the Crows. A left ankle injury. Benke kicked the goal. Crows got a couple into the breeze. But the story was that the Swans were sharp early. Kelly and Schwartz and Lewis and Bolton getting goals. And then the man of the moment, Tony Lockett, chipping in with the last 2. He does look very sharp and fired up. Rodney Ed, will he be happy? But I can remember sitting with Dougie not too long ago when the Swans had 8 goals to 1 on this very ground at quarter time against the Bulldogs and lost the match. So it's only 6-2 and they've got the breeze, and the Crows are playing for their season just as the Swans are. So the situation here at quarter time at the Sydney Cricket Ground before a very big crowd. It's 6-2 Sydney, 2 goals the Crows.
Matthews gave it back to him. Great run there by the big fella Ryan O'Connor. Got the ball over to Rowan Moore, and his handball to Wayne Swass. Swass could have had a shot at goal, but his great vision found big Tony Lockett.
KB, would you call that team lifting?
Oh, absolutely. He was just fantastic. Into
the heart of the breeze. Careful with it, steady with it.
Feeling out of shape? Then get fit.
I don't have a personal trainer. You do now.
The Toolman way.
I'm the man. Hey!
Chest bumping, something you never see 2 women do.
I'd pay a lot of money to see it, though.
Home Improvement, tonight, 7:30. Then, when death comes knocking, some see the light.
Follow your dream.
And some simply don't get it.
I am going to have a near-death experience if it kills me.
Third Rock, tonight at 8 on Channel 7.
Well, we just see here Squash finishing this off to Plugger Lockett, who kicked the goal. He's third. I think the next time we see George Michael's Plays of the Month, we'll see Peter Flandia on the half-back flank at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Pittman and Stafford, they'll be at it all day. The whistle's gone. going to the Swans.
Just those centres bounces, as Curl said before. Stafford certainly well on top. In the centre bounces. Sydney have had 9 tap-outs. They've won out and none to Adelaide at the stage.
This man on screen had it 15 times in the first quarter, and Swash had it 10. Here's Kelly. Well, he's hard to match up on Paul Kelly. We saw him early in the game. He's super quick. He can jump. He can take a mark. He's strong. He's an inspiring player. Look at this, Kelly.
Just takes courage, KB, doesn't it, to mark the ball like that, to run in front of a pack and put your body on the line. He does it every week.
Going for his second goal. 40 metres out. Paul Kelly, the skipper, stands and delivers.
Come on, sing it for me, girls. Woo! Whoa! Yo! Here I come now. And you know when you hear me moaning.
The only thing as good as your cherry ripe is someone else's.
Come on, get back in here.
Well, the two most celebrated players at the Swans have kicked the goals in this term, Lockett and Kelly. And they're really flying away now. Stafford, Pittman, James, McLeod. Had to just stop and then kick it hard and high. Binky and Seymour. Well, Binky did touch it first, but Seymour ripped it off him aggressively to Schwartz. Good take. They are playing very well, this Sydney Swans team. They're inspired. Schwartz with some room to Stafford. Stafford's been the key, as Neil said at quarter time. He's been so important for them. The left foot is a good one. Down the ground, I say a good one. I thought it was meant for Dunkley. He's gone all the way down the ground. But Bassett was able to chip in front of Tony Lockett and take the mark. Dunkley really working a Jarman overtime. They're getting him down the other end. Now, Jarman may get involved and get a first touch. Burton's got it. Here he is. Jarman touches it now. A bounce. A second one. No, didn't go to third, and then kicks it very badly for him. It's a hard ball for Lewis. Atkinson couldn't get at him. Seymour's back turn okay. To Luff. Good rebound stuff here. To Kelly. He is in top form. It's Kelly today. This is the best he's been for a long time. Where's Plugger? He might kick it hard and high to him. Plugger's going to the left forward pocket. It's too far for Kelly, I think, to get there. Into the breeze. He goes short to Lewis. You reckon he'll look for his mate? Lockett says, kick it now. And now Plugger takes off, and Lewis kicks it to him. And Plugger's got it! Magnificent grab! Well, the big fella's turning the clock back.
I just watched Tony Lockett a minute ago. He put the left hand out to indicate I'm going to the left-hand side and just took off to the right-hand side. And, of course, Dale Lewis, he just knew where he was going. That was just, whereas we said vintage before, that was just a vintage mark. It's like, I'll play, he'll go again next year.
Well, he won't now, but talk about going out on top. Oh, what a way to go.
Bruce, the Crows supporters watching may be hoping the wind has died, but that is not the fact. The Sydney boys are just playing so much better.
Girls, just sit back, strap yourself in and enjoy it. This is history, isn't it? Last time here at the SCG, it really is. Steady, steady, looks good. He's kicked 4.
Hi. Listen, I'm really sorry about what happened. Is there anything I can do to help get your car back on the road?
Well, with Amy, they're taking care of everything.
Quotes?
Done.
Repairs?
Done.
Good quality?
Guaranteed for the life of the car, even if I sell it.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess you don't need me then. Have a nice day.
A free service that takes care of all your post-crash running around. Call Amy now.
Double change coming for the Crows. Hawk, keep an eye where they go.
Yep. Tony Lockett has booted 4. He's got the spring back in the legs. Stafford, inside 50, taken by Hart. Got the job playing on Troy Luff. Been pretty handy at centre-half forward, finds McLeod. Goes to the half-forward line. He was looking for Pittman. It looked like he was on his way off the ground. Creswell. They'll share the ball around with his partner in crime in Swans. Creswell. Fantastic in that opening turn with 15 possessions. Here's a chance. Jude Bolton just rolled the shoulders. He's hard to tackle. He's got a bit of Robin Harvey in him in that capacity. Just can roll them. They just don't hang on to him.
Yeah, Mark Stevens on the ground now. He's going into the ruck for the Adelaide Crows up against Greg Stafford. Looks like Troy Bond has came onto the ground.
Atkinson off.
Atkinson off, yeah, number 2, Atkinson off.
Swans on fire, 9-2 to 2 goals. 56 plays, 12. James gets back up off the ground. Paul Kelly on screen. He's booted 2 goals. Plugger's got 4. Ball up on 50. Luff to do the ruck work. Taken by Hart. Quick hands. Looking for Jamison. Was it a throw? It was. So Kelly is going for his 3rd goal.
I just wonder, Curls, about the midfield of the Adelaide Crows. Do you start tagging a player like Wayne Swanson? Not tagging him at the moment.
No, they're taking Brody Atkinson on, who was a little slow in his leg speed, and they're trying to quick it up now with Bond on there.
Kelly from 35 metres hammers it home. 3 goals to Paul Kelly.
Well, they've put the game beyond doubt, I reckon, in about 8 minutes, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. I just think the difference between the two sides at the moment has been the way they've used the ball. Look like Rod Jamison, a little bit stiff. He went to handball with the left hand, and his hand didn't follow through, and of course the ball was thrown out. Paul Kelly, as we said, been a very dangerous player up in the forward line for the Sydney Swans. He's just been their midfield. The Swans certainly well on top. Swatch is on fire at the moment. Creswell and McLeod fairly even at this stage. And looks like now Stephen Carey has gone into the ruck for the Sydney Swans.
Well, 10-2 to 2 goals. It's the Kelly-Lockett show at the moment. They've kicked all the goals in this term, all 4. Creswell's getting a heap of it. Kelly's going to get a free kick. Well, the Crows, they're really just lost it for the moment. I think Mark Rashudo did push him in the back. And it's just not happening. Creswell's been fantastic. Well, probably not a lot in it, to be honest, but a fraction there. Jamison coming off. He struggled for old Rodney.
Chris, this is a bit correct myself here. Stephen Carey is not playing. It is Simon Feast on the ground. Thank you, KB.
Correct. Kelly just hooks it, and it's a behind. They've both got similar haircuts, Dougie.
Yeah, they're both a bit light on top, Bruce, which caught me out.
Gee, they're much sharper, the Swans boys, aren't they? Much sharper.
Well, Neil, we see a lot of them here, and often you think they could do some damage against the top 4 when they play like this, but it's going to be hard for them if they make the 8 to come from that low position, but still, they're playing a great brand of footy at the moment. Rashudo gets the ball well outside 50. Stevens on the end of it to Hart.
Well, we got an indication of the breeze then, because that was a long kick by Rashudo. Smart. Gets the ball back towards the half-forward line. It's one for the Brave. Backing back is O'Connor. So the big Rhino did a knee earlier in the year against Richmond. Be a big plus if he comes back to his best. He won the Alex Jesselenko medal several years back. Here's Peter Flandia. Magnificent in this quarter. Saddington lost it. Feast, quick hands. Missed his mark in Flandia. Bickley rockets the ball back to Smart. On hands and knees to McLeod on the burst edge of the centre square. Long bomb. Binky getting back. Can't keep the ball alive. Crashes into the awning. But through 4-1 behind. 63 plays 13. Swans by 50 points.
Just wonder now with Mark Rashudo, particularly kicking with the breeze, playing out on the half-back, saying maybe get him up in the midfield now, and that could be a move Malcolm Block can make to get him back into this game.
Nix finds War. There's a well-measured kick from half-back. He's looking for Lewis. Here comes the skyrocket. Thumps the ball away. Feast ricochets off, taken by Jarman. Gives the ball back to Tyson. Run through the centre square. Scrappy old kick. Easy for Seymour. Now some rebound football. They can raffle it. Bingo, lucky number 2. Feeds it out. Flandia. This time bundled out of the way. Good play by Costa on the half-forward line. Centres the ball, Seymour. He's tough in defence. Rarely beaten.
Yeah, he's a good player. He had that terrific year in '96 when they were going towards the finals. Matthews has kicked. They're confident, aren't they? O'Connor looking good. Kicks the ball to Feast. Stevens to try and go with him. Feast turns him and then turns around. Kelly leads. Plugger giving half a lead. Feast with plenty of time. Kicks to Lockett. Got him. Good mark, Lockett. That ball was going hard and his hands have timed today. Terrific.
It's a different player, Bruce. I saw Plugger last week against the Kangaroos. He just didn't seem to be that spring in his leap. He's just leaping beautifully. He's got great hands at the moment. Will he kick this?
Well, he's a long way out into the breeze. He leans back and hooking, getting some distance, and it's out of bounds on the fall. Always going to be a tough kick into the breeze here, but, well, I did wonder when Plugger announced his retirement that had Mickey Martin driven him to the walls after last week, because it was a great effort, but Tony Lockett looks a different man today. Saddington, good grab. Very fine young player.
Would he reconsider Bruce? I don't think so.
No, there's only so many send-offs, Neil. Saddington's kick. Stafford. Maxfield onto the ground. Belts it forward. Ball chopped off. Kelly's got three. Couldn't quite get a foot to it. Bolton in hard. Ball comes out. Bassett. Ball still to be won. Gets to Hart. Hart over the top. Terrific stuff to Bond. Bond with a bounce.
Comes away from half-back. Got the loose player wide. Stevens. Sets it up to Smart. Playing in front of Dunkley. Smart can't get around. Under pressure, loose ball. Chance for the Swans. James, hands and knees. Does well. Sets it up to Tyson. They backtrack. Concede ground. Stevens goes very short. Finds McLeod. So with the breeze at his back, we'd expect him to get the distance. They trail by 50 points.
Yeah, good play by Mark Stevens, who come on the ground to replace David Pittman. It looks like Darren Jarman's been moved up into the centre of the ground now, and Andrew McLeod is playing inside 50 for the Adelaide Crows.
Crows have to win if they're going to keep their final hopes alive. Kicks a high ball. It's going right to the line, right to the line. Through for a minor score.
Well, we talked about those grand finals. Kane Johnson, what about this guy?
There's two Norm Smith medals.
Saddington going hard and high. Good long kick to War. Holds his ground. Jarman giving away a very, very poor free kick, actually. Luckily, he didn't hurt Wolf then.
It was very untidy for Darren Jarman. As I said, gone now into the centre of the ground with McLeod going inside. That could have been nearly a 50-metre penalty there. That's just unnecessary then by Darren Jarman.
Unlike Jarman, who's had such a great career and must also be getting towards the end. Maybe one more year. He's 32 years of age. Wolf belts it long. Stafford's a target. Hart did well. He's giving away a lot of centimetres there. Goodwin was tackled quickly by Nix. O'Loughlin weaves his way back. Feast decides to belt forward. Quickly onto the boot by Kelly. And it's out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Swans attacking. Being very good, Kelly. 3 goals. A couple of other shots for goal. So change there. Pittman back on.
Just over 9 minutes left in the second quarter. A chance for the Swans. Bounty throwing on the half-forward line. Here he is. The big man's got it. Kick came from Crouch. And Big Plugger turning it on for his fans at the SCG.
Yeah, I just feel now, KB, that move may have to be made. I think David Pittman could be the man to go down there, particularly on the one-on contest. He's just too big and strong for Nathan Bassett.
Tony Lockett has booted 5.
The Crows with Wren, the Crows without. Now exclusively to 7 Nightly News. Wren lays it on the line.
You just get fed up with it.
And he reveals to us the answer to footy's most asked question.
Will you play on?
Monday night at 6. Thursday, 8:30.
What was that?
No, we don't.
Well, that's a bad plan. This is turning out to be a bad day.
Stargate returns Thursday, 8:30 on 7.
Well, I think even Plugger's greatest fans couldn't have written this script. 5 goals he's kicked before half-time. It's 11-3 to 2-2. I wonder if there'll be a change there. In fact, Hart's gone on. Hart's in the goal square. Bassett's still there for the moment. Costa, of course, Stafford being back there makes it even harder for Malcolm Blight because of his height. Swans have got it all at the moment, and percentage could be very important. I reckon Tim Watson's sitting probably here, maybe at home, thinking, boy, they're getting a bit of a gap on the Saints here, percentage-wise. The kick to half forward. O'Loughlin, free kick for him. It's all happening for the Swans. Advantage, though. I think the ball was just held up for too long in the end. So O'Loughlin, between half forward and centre wing, pops it up. Locker, not quite that time. Bassett getting back. Hart getting back towards the line. I think he'd be happy to see it go over. Stafford puts the tackle on. Back to Maxfield. Good tackle coming in from Bickley. Crouch. Maxfield squeezes it out. And Pittman's in the right spot and gets rid of it in a hurry. And across to James. James, who plays it low to the ground. Good kick out of defence, finds Tyson Edwards.
Tyson Edwards on the half-back line. Plenty of run from Costa. He's been pretty handy. He's battled hard for the Crows in this first half. He'll set it up to Smart. He's inside the centre square. He's usually a thumping kick. Beats the ball off. Finds Stevens. Does well. This is a poor kick. Kicked it behind.
Yeah, you're right there, KB. It's a pretty poor kick there. He did all the hard work. He stepped around his opponent there. You've got to kick those goals when you're clear. Just very quickly, some of the lead-in possession getters. Ben Hart's got the most for the Adelaide Crows in the back line. He's got 10. For Sydney Creswell, 19. And Swats, 14.
Saddington, who's been picking up Brett Burton, finds Maxfield, who started on the bench. Finds Lewis right on 50. Dale Lewis, 45 metres out and closing. There's a chance. Stafford, too tall, too big, too good.
It's a rout, isn't it? It's an absolute rout at the moment.
I'll just make a statement now, boys. I think the Crows might be in trouble.
I think you're right, Curls, at the moment. I think Bruce touched on with Stafford going back into the goal square. They've been forced now, Ben Hart, to pick him up. Give away 5 or 6 inches in height.
You still got Nigel Smart, who's played a lot of full-back, so he could be used.
Well, he's just popped it through.
Vehicle hit wall square on. Driver, collide with steering wheel now. Front passenger impact.
All car manufacturers use controlled crash tests to prove the safety of their cars. But out here, a recent survey into over 500,000 real-life crashes found 91 to 97 Magna to be the safest Australian-built car. And new Magna is built to the same standards. So why choose anything else?
Well, this is a magnificent performance by Sydney. Remember, the Crows had a lot to play for coming in today. War to Creswell. It's one-way traffic. Orman Allen from the side takes the mark. Well, they've just got to stick to it, Adelaide, and hope something works for them. Hart, he won't give it away. But, gee, to be a defender for the Crows at the moment would not be a very, very likeable occupation. Bickley, Burton the target. Well read by Bond. Couldn't get the kick away. Binky off the ground. Into the pocket. O'Connor happy. It goes to the ground. Might be... it's a boundary throw. And the Crows player went to the ground there in McGregor.
And KB, you have got your Orman Allen on Stafford, not in the ruck, but in the back pocket.
Well, I think they should put him into the ruck, Curls. Last time they did that, they won.
McGregor, O'Connor, 2 16s, McLeod.
It's just amazing here, Bruce. Just look at the back line of Sydney Swans. When I say the back line, there's 14 players of Sydney Swans inside 50 in the defence. They just flood that back line.
Well, a chance for the Crows. It's a ball up, 25 metres out from goal. Doing so well in the ruck. Lewis hugs the boundary line. Creswell sees the ball over in front of Jarman. Well, he's had a fantastic season, Darren Creswell. He's one of the unsung heroes. Each week, he just keeps winning the ball. And he set it up in that first quarter with 15 possessions along with Swash 25 times. They are just so good at winning the ball. Lewis on the charge. Here comes Kelly. Kelly's looked sharp. Plugger looks sharp. Stafford looks sharp. And he'll be shooting from 40 metres out directly in front. It's a mismatch there with Ben Hart trying to pick up Stafford.
Just their midfield kicking has been absolutely sensational. There's not Wayne Swats, it's Dale Lewis, and you've got, of course, Paul Kelly, absolutely been brilliant play, kicking 3 goals. Greg Stafford, what he does, he takes the centre bounce and then just slowly sneaks back down in that goal square. Big problems for Malcolm Blight.
Well, he had 3 goals coming into this game. He's going for his 2nd goal of the quarter. Injured his knee early in the year. It's a big bonus to get him back. Got Adam Goods also to come back into the side. Stafford has pushed this left. In fact, it's come off the hands there of Bassett. Through for a behind.
Bassett puts it down for Rashudo. Gee, they've got some good players, the Swans. Dougie, you're doing the votes. It's going to be tough to fit some of their stars in, isn't it?
Very even at the moment, Bruce. Picked up in that midfield with Kelly, Creswell, and of course Swats had plenty of football. And Stafford's been a great player too.
Rashudo gets good distance. It's a great kick actually to Ben Hart and a good mark too at full tilt. Hart, lovely kick inboard to Bickley. Bickley to Stevens, who missed one early in the quarter, and he's missed another one. Probably got a bit close to the man charging at
That's happened to him both times, in fact, Bruce, and he's had to pull his kick.
Yep. Gee, it was a good build-up by the Crows. It really was. I mean, from Bushido's kick to hard, everything worked well. But Stevens cramped himself up and just got himself on the wrong line as he did when he did the side step earlier on.
I just reckon Ben Hart's probably been their best player out of the back line, and at the moment, when Stafford goes forward, he's got to pick him up, which he is at the moment in the goal square.
Nick's out wide. Kirk's come onto the ground. He got a big cheer. O'Loughlin with a bounce, running hard, then kicks it to the pocket. Bassett leading Lockett here. Kirk coming onto the ground, getting back in a hurry is Orman Allen. Goes to ground, hard tackle on him. Kirk in there, and also Bond, I think someone's hurt, I think. Ball in the pocket, boundary thrown. One of those Crows, it might be James, I'm not sure, picking himself up.
I think it was Bassett.
Bassett.
Caught one in the head. It looked like Plugger came in and
very hard, didn't he,
just
James?
caught him.
Tough nut, Bassett, so he's okay.
Boundary throwing just 30 metres round from the Swans' goal. Just over 4 minutes left. Stafford pushing and shoving with Pittman. Swans have won so much of the ball at ground level. Bickley, the skipper, feeds it off to Smart, who just pumps the ball back to the edge of the centre square. Stevens has got Dunkley to beat. It's a tough ask. Tyson Edwards thought he had it and lost it. Matthews for the Swans, didn't hit his target, taken away by Bond. Deep into the forward line. Chance now. Burton with a high fly, but Benke, I reckon Benke has taken a great grab. He's got it. The skyrocket goes up here. You can see Burton just went up a fraction early, but Benke just with better judgment.
Good pair of hands, Brian Benke, at the moment. He's got good hands, and normally a pretty reliable kick for goal as well.
Well, when they had the two goal kickers, Benke and Burton.
Take a good kick from there, I think.
What's his chances, Curls?
50%.
You're a good judge.
Kick 5 straight behinds in this quarter, the Crows.
Yeah, very hard when you've got the win, 3 or 4 goal winners, Curl said, down on the boundary. You just got to kick goals.
Yeah, well, Sydney boys haven't allowed them one, like that's how well they're playing.
Saddington short to Seymour. He's got Matthews this side if he wants to go. Their leg speed's worried the Crows too, hasn't it? Been able to really break through. Darren Jarman, I just don't know where they're going to play him today. Dunkley,
uncontested.
It's not good enough, is it, from the Crows' point of view? Dunkley's kick towards Lewis and Goodwin. Goodwin got a fist to it, well done. Jarman couldn't. Creswell tried to get it out to Kirk. Kirk, Jarman, taken by Bond. Bond's handball. Good take by Bickley, the skipper. Yeah, Bickley's kick is a good one to McLeod. Lovely mark. He went early and held his ground. He's played pretty well, McLeod. Hasn't had a whole heap of opportunities. Had Edwards very short. Goes to the pocket. Neat kick to Costa. Now, he's got to go back and kick the goal. They've got to salvage something from the wreck. And I tell you what, it's a pretty big wreck at the moment. Must take something into half-time with them here, the Crows.
Yeah, certainly. And that's been the best use of the football so far in the game for the Adelaide Crows. They use the ball beautifully. Good mark by McLeod and great vision to find Kim Costa. It's been one of probably their better players. He's worked very hard on the wing. And these are the goals Costa can kick.
So Costa from the pocket. And he likes it, but he's missed it. Boy. Right off the boot. 6 straight behinds. We mentioned earlier that for the Crows to win today, they have to be very clean and kick accurately. Well, they're not going to win and they're not accurate.
I just reckon I've seen the Swans a fair bit this year. This is the best I've seen them use the football around the midfield. They've found every target every time.
They have been very good luck. Strong overhead. McGregor does well in front. One of the young players being blooded by Malcolm Blight. Ken McGregor. Kicks back to the pocket. Big pack of players. Burton just couldn't quite bring it down. Ball kept alive, taken by Bond. He's pulled it out on the full.
You were saying, Bruce, about the pace of the Swans. Also, their height is worrying the Crows today. They've got those extra big men that the Crows just can't counter.
Looks like Pittman now has gone to full back, picking up Greg Stafford. That was a move probably had to happen 5 minutes ago, I thought.
Well, Ben Hart is such a good player. He can give them a lot of drive out of defence, a lot of run, but he's got to worry about a guy who's a 1.5 foot tall all the time. It's a bit of a worry to him. Nix pumps the ball back. O'Connor over the top there was Jarman, couldn't take it. Swash. He's had a fantastic season. One of the favourites for the Brownlow medal. Just hugs the boundary line. Maxfield bundled over the line by Trent Orman-Allen. For a toss back in. Plugger has booted 5. 3 goals in the second quarter. His partner in crime, Paul Kelly, has got 3. They're the only multiple goal kickers for the Swans. It's just Burton and Benke, sole goal kickers for the Crows. Swash, having a field day. Gets the ball back to Kirk. 3 goals last week on debut. First mistake by Kelly through the hands. O'Loughlin clean to Creswell. He'll set it up back to O'Loughlin, 55 metres out. O'Loughlin goes to the line. Jarman. Sorry, Dennis, centimetre perfect. Takes the ball as Bassett and just belts the ball back out towards centre wing.
With the numbers now, the Crows. Costa's been pretty good. Bursts through, runs his ball measure, kicks the centre half forward. Mark taken by Burt. Well, he should nearly get this. Breeze behind him.
Have a shot.
We're kicking from about 52. He's a long kick.
Would you have a shot, KB?
From there?
He'd have a shot. He would have had a shot from where Jarman took the mark.
Yeah, would have had one from the back pocket.
And why wouldn't you have a shot when you kick it like that? Good kick, Burton. Goal. You weren't as bad as they say you were you, KB? I used to watch you on telly when I was a little boy.
Well, Tom Hafey told me back in 1965 that handball was just going to be a fad, and not to get caught up with it.
Good build-up here for the Crows.
Yeah, good build-up there. Kim Cross has probably been maybe one of their good players, and probably a winner on the wing, and there was great vision by him to find his teammate in Brett Burton. As we've touched on many times, Burton's been outstanding. Not only is he a great high mark, he does run very hard and does have the ability to kick goals. Now, he kicked 2 goals and been a pretty lively forward for him.
Well, it's a pity Adam Goods is not playing today because Burton and Goods have been virtually the 2 stars, and obviously he'll fight out the Norwich Rising Star. He's booted 25 goals for the season, Burton. Stafford and Pittman. Pittman gets his hands on the ball first. Bickley, the kick half smothered. So the time clock ticking down. Just a few seconds left in the second term. And what a quarter it's been for Sydney. 12-4 to 3-6 as the siren sounds. 76 to 24. 52-point lead. And that man on screen, Plugger, playing his last game at the SCG, has got 5 to half-time. And a brilliant performance. Stafford in the ruck has been absolutely superb. He's also troubled them up forward as well. And Paul Kelly, also with 3 goals, has been a live wire.
So they led by 26 points at quarter time, and they doubled it to lead by 52 of the long break. Plugger with his 5. It's 12-4 to 3-6.
Good afternoon. A man is in police custody after a bizarre hold-up attempt at the Morford Arms.
Sydney Football Stadium side by side here, and the situation here at half-time, the Swans are away from the Crows. Magnificent first half by Sydney. Lockett has 5 goals, and the Swans lead 12-4 to 3-6. So they led by 26 and they lead by 52. They've kicked 6-2 in both of the quarters, and the Crows managed 2 goals and 1 6. There's Lockett with 5, and appropriately Kelly with 3, and Burton with 2. Well, he's writing another chapter, isn't he, today, Tony Lockett, in his last match here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It all started for him in his second game only for the Saints, way back in 1983.
Waiting now for Lockett to have this shot directly in front, about 35 metres out from goal. The kick. And that's a goal.
Harvey heads towards Lockett and Henwood again. Lockett in front, recovers, spins round, snaps a goal and has kicked another one, I think. What a goal.
You'll have to get back quickly. Dean Gregg's quicker over the top. Lockett, it's 5 points the difference. 10 goals to Plugger.
Creswell away, their best and fairest last year. Punches the ball for
Good luck, Richard Champion. The kick comes down in that direction. Lockett in front, up he goes, almost to mark, finds it on the ground. What Kevin Bartlett.
Taken by Creswell. He should use Dyson outside, decides to go to Lockett. Grant's in the box seat here. Lockett.
Elusive. The kick towards
Look out.
What's going to be marked? Lockett's got it. 50 metres from goal. If he kicks a point, the Swans are into the grand final. Lockett, the most important kick of his career. Any score will do. He kicks. They are into the grand final. As Lockett bends around the body. Lockett. Green left it for Lockett. Couldn't take it. He goes again. Lockett. A snap. A high snap. A mighty snap by the master. They're back in front.
Shaddington, O'Loughlin, Arnett, 21 today, kicks the ball for Plugger! We're very close to quarter time. Plugger goes, He goes. Yes! There it is! Will he write his name in the record book forever?
Come on, Plug.
With this kick. It's going to go. He's got it. And aren't we privileged to be a little part of it? And Plugger's got it. Magnificent grab. Well, the big fellas. There must be some granddads and grandmothers who saw Bradman playing, who are watching today. Well, we've been lucky seeing the big fella for such a long period of time. Let's come back to earth, because Plugger's soaring, isn't he, again today? Brisbane and Fremantle, we'll have a look at the highlights of what's happened in the first half there today.
From left half back, bombs it long, right up towards centre wing, a marking contest there. None can bring it down. Now it comes to Fletcher again from Walker. Good chase. Bad turnover though. Notting again. Goes up long towards goals. That's just about there again. Might have been touched on the line, was it not? No. Johnson. Ship nearly had him. Ball jarred free in the tackle. Still outside 50. Voss onto the left. Bounce is going to be a factor. Malloy turns it a tricky bit. Will he have a shot from there? He will. Goes at goal and gets the fifth for the Lions in the first quarter. Picks up towards full forward. O'Reilly bundled out of the contest. Malloy from Johnson. To go for another one. No, he can't. Malloy, he'll kick it himself. Onto the speedy Lappin. Ship won't catch him. That's going close to goal. And almost a mark. Man, was it? Lynch has a shot. Lynch puts it through. Casual as a mark. Knock on by Headland. Johnson, Lepich down there trying to kick a goal. Malloy, little hand pass. Johnson, plenty of time to steady. Goes in the goal and gets another one.
Now, there'll be a replay in some states. I've got a feeling Brisbane in front, just looking at the highlights. I don't know the score. Look away now if you don't want to know. We'll be back with more after this. Half-time, the Swans have got a good lead. They lead 12-4 to 3-6. The big story, Tony Lockett in his last game here has kicked 5 goals. Well, Andrew McLeod playing for the Crows has won 2 Norm Smith medals. The only other man to have done that is Gary Ezzi. He won his first one in 1986 for the Hawks as they were playing the Blues. That's a Mitsubishi moment for today. The Norm Smith medal. So they led by 26 points at quarter time, and they doubled it to lead by 52 at the long break. Plugger with his 5. It's 12-4 to 3-6.
Good afternoon. A man is in police custody after a bizarre hold-up attempt at the Morford
Sydney Football Stadium side by side here, and the situation here at half-time, the Swans are away from the Crows. Magnificent first half by Sydney. Lockett has 5 goals, and the Swans lead 12-4 to 3-6. So they led by 26 and they lead by 52. Because they've kicked 6-2 in both of the quarters, and the Crows managed 2 goals and 1 6. Here's Lockett with 5, and appropriately Kelly with 3, and Burton with 2. Well, he's writing another chapter, isn't he, today, Tony Lockett, in his last match here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It all started for him in his second game only for the Saints, way back in 1983.
Waiting now for Lockett to have this shot directly in front, about 35 metres out from goal. The kick. And that's a goal.
Harvey heads towards Lockett and Henwood again. Lockett in front, recovers, spins round, snaps a goal, and has kicked another one, I think. What a goal.
You'll have to get back quickly. Dean Gregg's quicker over the top. Lockett, it's 5 points the difference. 10 goals to Plugger.
Creswell away, their best and fairest last year. Punches the ball for
Good luck, Richard Champion. The kick comes down in that direction. Lockett in front, up he goes, almost a mark, finds it on the ground. Like Kevin Bartlett.
Taken by Creswell. He should use Dyson outside, decides to go to Lockett. Grant's in the box seat here. Lockett.
Who's using? The kick towards Look out. What's going to be marked? Lockett's got it. 50 metres from goal. If he kicks a point, the Swans are into the grand final. Lockett, the most important kick of his career. Any score will do. He kicks.
Lockett bends around the body. Lockett. Green left it for Lockett. Couldn't take it. He goes again. Lockett. A snap. A high snap. A mighty snap by the master. They're back in front. Sheddington. O'Loughlin. Matt. 21 today. Kicks the ball forward. Plugger! We're very close to quarter time. Plugger goes. He goes. Yes! There it is! Will he write his name in the record book forever? Come on, Plugger. With this kick. It's going to go. He's got it. And aren't we privileged to be a little part of it? And Plugger's got it. Magnificent grab. Well, the big fellas. There must be some granddads and grandmothers who saw Bradman playing, who are watching today. Well, we've been lucky seeing the big fella for such a long period of time. Let's come back to earth, because Plugger's soaring, isn't he, again today? Brisbane and Fremantle, we'll have a look at the highlights of what's happened in the first half there today.
From left half back, bombs it long, right up towards centre wing, a marking contest there. None can bring it down. Now it comes to Fletcher again from Walker. Good chase. Bad turnover though. Nodding again. Goes up long towards goals. That's just about there again. Might have been touched on the line, was it not? No. Johnson. Ship nearly had him. Ball jarred free in the tackle. Still outside 50. Voss onto the left. Bounce is going to be a factor. Malloy turns it a tricky bit. Will he have a shot from there? He will. Goes at goal and gets the fifth for the Lions in the first quarter. Picks up towards full forward. O'Reilly bundled out of the contest. Malloy from Johnson to go for another one. No, he can't. Malloy, he'll kick it himself. Onto the speedy Lappin. Ship won't catch him. It's going close to goal. And almost a mark. Man, was it? Lynch has a shot. Lynch puts it through. Casual as a lot. Knock on by Headland. Johnson, Leppich down there trying to kick a goal. Malloy, little hand pass. Johnson, plenty of time to steady. Goes into goal and gets another one.
Now, there'll be a replay in some states. I've got a feeling Brisbane in front, just looking at the highlights. I don't know the score. Look away now if you don't want to know. Break. We'll be back with more after this. Half-time, the Swans have got a good lead. They lead 12-4 to 3-6. The big story, Tony Lockett in his last game here has kicked 5 goals. Well, Andrew McLeod playing for the Crows has won 2 Norm Smith medals. The only other man to have done that is Gary Ayres. He won his first one in 1986 for the Hawks as they were playing the Blues. That's a Mitsubishi moment for today.
Winner of the Norm Smith medal, Hawthorn, Gary Ayres.
With 18 kicks and 8 hand passes, Gary Ayres earned the right to stand on the podium after the 1986 Grand Final and be presented with the Norm Smith medal. In one of those great moments in Grand Finals, Ayres would send through a goal that added to the Hawks' huge third-quarter lead.
You don't get to kick too many goals in a Grand Final, and I remember the ball was rebounded out. I'd played a kick behind the play, and lucky enough it fell in my arms, and I had a long set shot from goal, and it sailed through, and yeah, I was pretty excited about the goal.
In 1988, Ayres would become only the second man to win the Norm Smith medal on 2 occasions, a record that still stands. Gary Ayres, another Mitsubishi memorable moment.
Gary Ayres coaching today for Geelong and appropriately against Carlton. Let's see the highlights of that match in the first half.
Almost dropping it. Milburn. Smothered. They've still got the numbers, though. Here's Baz again. Stoneham from 48.5 metres has kicked another one, and he's tough.
Steinfort. He got support. Stoneham did well. Off he goes. Snell. And here's another one.
Will be kept in play by Pearce, who came off the interchange bench. He wobbles a punt back towards half forward. Camberelli can get the hand pass away. Or the snap, and he steps on the siren to kick a valuable goal.
Helicopter spin to that ball. Good mark, Whitnell. He's got Lappin unmarked, and nobody standing the mark. Lappin for goal and kicks it.
It's down to half-forward. Pickering almost escaped. Try ball continues, and still it continues. They put the whistle away, you get the feeling. Hamill bends it back. Oh, Aaron. Like playing table tennis, you two. Ping pong. Clark.
That's a great kick.
That is a beauty. Smack bang onto the chest. He goes down towards Carl Stuyvesant. That was a courageous mark. Gives it off to David Mensch. Mensch was away to the right with his last kick, and this time he's spot on.
Stoneham leads the race. Silvani hard to beat. Steinford off the left. 2 against 2. Snell. He missed it. But Riccardi misses as well from about 3 metres out. Or has he got it? He got.
Once again, a look away if you don't want to know some stations taking a replay. For the second half from the SCG after this. Curly's got Darryl Hart from the Adelaide Crows, King.
Okay, Darryl, just bad luck that first one with young Johnson.
Yeah, that sort of certainly unsettled us, but there's no excuse for the poor attack on the ball like that, and it's our most disappointing game for 3 years, so hopefully what was said at half-time will rectify that.
So Malcolm was obviously disappointed with the attitude of the players.
Oh, we were soft. There's no way of hiding from that. We just didn't have a go there. You can certainly be beaten sometimes because the opposition's too good for you, but the boys were very disappointing there.
Plus their height's worrying Lockett and Stafford.
Oh, just us not getting at it was our main key, Neil. They're certainly good players, but if you don't really get in and at it, you don't give your defenders a chance. So that's what we've tried to address there.
Well, let's hope we get a better half. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Neil, with Darryl Hart. Worst performance in 3 years. They're big words, aren't they? But, well, the Crows have been disappointing here. 12-4 to 3-6 because they had a lot to play for prior to this match. And probably they're out of it in terms of winning. Bonds kicked the Pittman. This is a better start. Pittman getting down to take the mark.
Well, as we know, Bruce, Malcolm Blight doesn't mince words, and if that's what he saw, he would certainly let the players know about it.
Well, there's only one way to go, and that's to go forward here. And David Pittman, it's been a year of extraordinary comebacks. The biggest one, Hawthorn against St Kilda, breaking all the records at Waverley, so who knows? But the Swans looked terrific in the first half. Pittman's kick from about 45 metres across the face. He gets out on the full. Burton getting up high, and it'll be a Swans kick. 76 plays 24 here. David Pittman has been an important player in the Malcolm Blight reign, so we're probably seeing the end now, for sure, of this great run the Crows have had under Blight. Malcolm said the Miracles were gone a few weeks ago, but they'll be surely gone tonight unless they can do something out of the ordinary. Costa's kicked that. Binky pushed. He should get a free kick. He does. Seymour hasn't made too many errors. It's been a good duel, actually, because Seymour's been good, but Binky's shown a bit, hasn't he?
He certainly has, Bruce. He's kicked one goal for him. He's probably been a forward down there who looks like taking a mark at this stage of the game, and his kicking normally is pretty good.
Get a good view of this. We're right behind it. It'll take a very good kick. Not going to come back. It's across the face. I think it might... Hasn't even made it. Stafford, who was like a colossus in the first half, like the big fella Plugger was at full forward, has taken the mark.
Well, he's taken 7 marks now, and he's had 8 possessions in that first half. Stafford. Their keys, of course, Creswell with 22 possessions, and also Swash with 17. Flandia. Great passage of play in the second quarter. Resulting in a goal to the Swans. Lewis pumps the ball back towards the centre wing. Here's a chance for O'Loughlin. Just needs a kind bounce. Got a touch of the fumbles. Flandia tried to force the ball forward. Strange handball from O'Loughlin. Comes back out towards Creswell. Kicks the ball back towards centre forward Kelly. This time beaten by Smart. He's booted 3 goals today, poor Kelly. Had Risciuto as his opponent in the first half.
Gee, this is interesting.
There's a chance, 2 against 1. Bolton got plenty of support. Didn't quite hit his target. Jarman really touched the ball today. Playing for the free. All caught up by Stafford. Kelly just can't keep the ball alive. Boundary throw in. 76 plays, 24.
Yeah, a couple of midfield changes.
Interchange for the Sydney. Maxfield, Feast, James, Kirk.
Yeah, smart playing on Kelly now. Kelly playing the forward line. Bickley's been given the job on Wayne Swans, who dominated the first half. Looks like Darren Jarman and Creswell running together as well.
Pittman pushing and shoving that time with Luff. Here's a chance for Smart. Finds his target. Able to run on the ball was Jarman. Gives it across to Bickley. The skipper 55 out. Tries to drill it. It's a poor kick. Well intercepted by Seymour. Now some rebound football from the Swans. The Raw goes round the SCG. Kelly looking for O'Loughlin. Pounced on that time by Blandia. Goes to ground. Over the top is hard. They'll ball it up. Point of the centre square.
Swans attacking. 12-4 to 3-6. Luck won it clearly, and we'll hit the kick almost. Lockett magnificently played to Schwartz are behind. What about the skills there of Lockett taking it and handball at pace, down low? Well, I'm sitting with, we'll have a second look. It's a wonderful take, great give.
This great handball by the big fella there. He was caught off balance and running full tilt-2, and to get the ball across to Wayne Swans for free and play. Looks like Andrew McLeod now is playing deep in the forward line for the Crows, being picked by Matthew Nix.
Rashudo to bring it in. Going to ask you all a question in a moment. 12-5 to 3-6. The ball to half-back. On the ground, outside the 50. Crows, taken by Troy Bond. Came off the interchange. Kicks back towards Jarman. He's getting his hands on it a bit now. Such an important play. Bickley over the top to Smart on the burst. He'll stretch his man here. Tease him a bit. And then from 55 metres, blasts away. Nix gets back and takes a good mark. 12-5, 3-6. Nix out wide. He's got to come back. Okay, the quick one is, you've played 1,000 games between you when you haven't had a go in the first half, and you have been feeling flat. How hard is it to get up in the second half of a match?
One word, Bruce, nightmare. Very, very hard.
Neil, what do you think? Is it impossible to get up?
Depends how much pride you've done. If you want to have a go, you have a go.
Yes, I think that's a fair comment, Curls. There's a bit of passion in your performance. Nix pumps the ball wide. Chance for Dunkley, goes to ground. Jarman pulled off the ball. That time by Crouch. Bickley. The tackler was Schwartz. Bickley just struggling to control the ball. Coming in hard was Bolton. And Rashudo, even with a touch of the fumbles. A lot of pressure from the Sydney Swans. Been magnificent today.
And I do have the Crows bench. Atkinson, Johnson injured, Tyson, Jamison.
Playing Johnson there with the crutches off very early in that first quarter. O'Connor, too strong that time for McGregor, and then just dumps his opponent into the ground in Jarman. Boundary throwing on centre wing. Darren Jarman. Yet to trouble the scorer. He's booted 55 goals for the year. Trent Orman-Allen. That's his position in the ruck. Puts it straight back over the line.
You're not going to give up on that, Kevin, are you?
I think it's a good move.
I just reckon the move of Darren Jarman's a good move to go in the midfield. Just wonder how much he can run around that midfield. He's played mostly up in that forward pocket. It may test him later in the game.
Smart over the top. I think the free kick to the Crows. McGregor's. Well, at least, I mean, we talked about Jarman earlier, I think off air and on air. He's a passive type of player. At least he's starting to get his hands on the footy. He's so important in the creation area. But there's a lot of damage done in the first half. Binky, good mark. Not paid. Gee, I thought he had. Seymour. To Creswell. Another big day in terms of stats. Kicks it to Kelly, who's looked as good as he's looked all year, Kelly. Over the top. Nix has run very hard for him. He's going to be rewarded. He's at 50. Short. Got Lockett. Terrific stuff. Creswell, Kelly, Nix, Lockett. They're good names, aren't they?
Just great running here by Matthew Nix. I just mentioned only probably 2 or 3 minutes earlier, he's got the job on Andrew McLeod, who was playing deep in the forward line, and he just come running down the ground and created something for the Sydney Swans, and his pass was absolutely brilliant, like they have been all day, the Sydney Swans.
Plugger just looking around, checking the breeze. It won't be an easy kick. He's kicked 5. Comes in. They like it. Behind the goal. He's kicked 6.
Wisteria. You might think it's a menace, but we'll show you how versatile and attractive it can be. It's a knockout. Plus, a potato lover's delight.
You're on to an absolute winner here.
Better Homes and Gardens, 7:30 Tuesday. Then at 8, hit the great outdoors for a fairy tale escape.
A fantastic little hideaway set deep in a rainforest.
Get a real Rocky Mountain high.
One of the world's most famous rail journeys.
And prepare for an inspiring encounter. The great outdoors, Tuesday on 7.
Figures. Red letter day for Tony Lockett. Last game, the SCG. He's got 6. Pittman, hands on the ball first. Bickley trying hard. McLeod out of the centre square, pumps it down. Binky hits the pack hard. Jarman the crummer. He's got Matthews to beat. Keeps his body on line. Beaten by Matthews. The youngster comes away from the half-back flank, just tumbles the ball up towards centre wing. Clean hands by War. Been a great pick-up from Fitzroy. Kelly! Well, he's just been far too good for Mark Rashudo today. He has been jumping, bursting through packs, kicking goals. He's back to his absolute best today, Paul Kelly. And along with Tony Lockett, they are putting on a show. It's showtime at the SCG. Paul Kelly and Tony Lockett. Kelly, 45 metres out. Pushes it wide. Through for behind.
I reckon they'll be, when they're fishing, when they get old, get a bit older, they talk about and reflect, they'll remember this game, these two great mates, won't they?
Yeah, no doubt.
Those marks will get higher and taller and even better, but they're good enough as they are, aren't they?
Yeah, great mates. 2 Brownlow medal each. What else can they do? And great play by Rowan Walks, but a very important player to that backline, the Sydney Swans as well.
There is one other thing they'd like to do, Dougie, and I'm not sure.
Premiership, I reckon.
Yeah, and probably they, well, who knows? If they had a shot at it, well, they're giving themselves a chance today, at least have a crack at it, aren't they? They're going to have to come from a long way down. But let's face it, the Crows travelled every week last year. They broke all the rules and they did it. Went to Melbourne, got beaten, came here, won, went back to Melbourne and won, and went back and won it again. So who knows? James, I think this is the only team, James is ping. This is the only team outside the top 4 that could make a run at the finals. But the only team good enough, I think.
I think so, Bruce. And outside them, yeah, probably Essendon, of course.
Lewis to Lockett. Sorry, Doug. Right. At the back. Nix. Scoops it back. Bolton. Great kick, Bolton. Is this kick going really good? Very good.
Ci tengo alla mia macchina, sai, è proprio un amore. Capirai, quindi, mi è venuto quasi un attacco cardiaco quando ha cominciato a fare bang, bang, bang. L'ho portato subito oltre Ciune e il meccanico mi ha detto che si trattava del timing. Hanno fatto la diagnosi, me l'hanno aggiustata e non mi hanno fatto pagare mica tanto, sai. Oltre Ciune, brava gente. I speak my language.
Jude Bolton, a young man from Aberfeldy, has got 2. What a goal. 14-6 plays 3-6 Ross. Another great game, dropped short. Rashudo, this time marks in front of Nix. Short to Bickley. Smart. He's tried hard. Trying to mesmerise his opponent there in Luff. Gets it to James on centre wing. Chips it short. Hart. Couldn't quite take it on the full. Recovers. Then just bombs the ball deep into the forward line. It's a big pack of players. Dunkley. Can hardly remember a pack mark being taken by Adelaide today. Saddington from half-back. Wobbly old kick. It's all Swans. Crouch. Edge of the centre square. Lead by 66 points. Here's Plugger. Couldn't take it on with the one hand. Bolton was off. Free kick, whistle's gone. Bassett. Trying to get things moving. Finds Bond. Started on the bench. The half-forward line. Chance for McGregor out in front. O'Connor. Just starting to find some good form. The big rhino. To Seymour. The defence working well for the Swans. A springboard of attack. Matthews drills at Lewis. Couldn't take a one-hander. Luff does well at ground level. Feeds the ball. They backtrack. Retreat. Just concede a bit of ground. Schwass. Got Kirk. They have just come off the interchange bench. We'll check with that with Curls. Here's Lewis inside 50.
Yeah, it just shows you, I think Curls will just add that to, I think Kirk just came off the interchange bench, but it just shows you how easy it went. The target from Criswell missed Wayne Swass, the ball bounced 6 or 7 times. No one near him, all on his own.
Dale Lewis. He'll kick from right on 50.
Yes, Kirk replaced Landia.
Just come straight off the bench and fell beautifully into his arm. Dale Lewis, this is a thumping kick. Magnificent.
Come on, sing it for me, girls. Woo! Whoa! No! Here I come now. And you know when you hear me moaning.
The only thing as good as your cherry ripe is someone else's.
Come on, get back in here.
Don't think they've played a four-quarter game in Sydney this year, the Swans, and they've got a chance to do it today, to really finish off. The Crows' pride might have been stung at half-time, but there's a big gap in the ability of the two teams at the moment. The kick to half-forward, Rasciuto, Luff, terrific stuff. Luff still, clever, inside, Kirk's got it. He just looks part of the team, Kirk. He comes off that interchange, he gets a kick within a minute, he just fits in beautifully, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does, and just been in that midfield, as I touched on before, and in the centre of the ground, just won the ball out of the centre so many times, and as I said before, the use of the football has been absolutely fantastic.
Kicked 3 against the Kangaroos in that huge match last week. You can kick a goal. Lockett leads. Kirk goes, but have a look at that. Terrific kick. He's going to be a good player too.
Temporary lapse of concentration at a bad corner. I ran up the back of a tradesman's van.
The front light was damaged, the bumper bar, some of the grill.
I made a phone call to Amy. Their people were well trained, that they knew the process, that they knew the answers to the questions. Amy really did make it very easy and did it all for us.
When I went and picked up the car, it was absolutely immaculate. I've never seen it so clean before.
It looked like it does now. It looked like a brand new car.
Very happy with Amy.
So Kirk kicks his first goal of the match, 16-6 to 3-6. The Swans were in the top 8 before the game on percentage from St Kilda. Into the Spirits. Burton, the high flyer. Stevens tried to crash his way through. Stevens on hands and knees. Look at the tackling that time from Seymour. He's tough in the clinches. Ball up. Right on 50.
Well, there's not much more Blighty can do, and I think Curls will agree with this now. He's put Bickley on the ball, he's got Jarman in the centre, he's got Bond on the ball.
Duncan doing the ruck work. Just absolutely magnificent. Down to Heath James having his first run, so he finds his other interchange player in the first half in Kirk. Thumped the ball back towards the half-forward line. Kelly, first mistake for the game, overran the ball. Still on centre wing. Chance for Creswell. Just keeps racking up possessions. Stands and delivers, pumps it back. Plugger stands his ground in front. Couldn't take it. He's booted 6. Strong tackle. Kelly and Plugger. Tag team. Rasciuto, the victim.
Yeah, good play by Ben Hart to leave his opponent to give passes a chop out. They just squashed him. Kelly. Plugger.
Oh, he's down. Brett Burton's down. He's pushed his opponent down and squashed. So is there a free kick?
He's going to report him.
Can you report him?
What for?
Oh, I don't believe this. I was watching that clearly. I just do not believe this report.
Let's have a look what happens here. Comes in.
Oh, no. Well, I'll do a link up. We'll be coming to Melbourne next week, Brett Burton.
I think his name's Clark Gable, this guy fell over.
Can't report him for that. Anyway, the umpire's been pretty good today. They've been all right.
Wayne Swats kicked the goal in the first quarter.
Well, it's important from the Norwich Rising Star situation too.
Yeah.
Well, I think after seeing that, Bruce,
I think he's safe.
I don't think there's any problem.
He's safe.
I think we might see that one withdrawn.
Oh, boy.
So Swash going for his second goal. He'll be shooting from 45 metres out. He's had a great season and drills it.
Here's a couple who bought a renovator's delight. While they're proud of the breakthrough they've made,
Put in some French doors and then pave the courtyard.
not everybody shares their vision. And here's the Mitre 10 specialist.
Let's start with Accent. It's good value, it's our own brand,
great range of colours.
From the store that understands it's not just the low price, it's getting the right advice that really saves you money.
You can see it, can't you, darling?
Yeah, it'll come.
17-6, so the Swans have booted 5-2 in this quarter. They kicked 6-2 in the first and 6-2 in the second. They're on to get past it. Pittman gets overstabbed, but that hasn't happened too much. Bickley to Rasciuto. Creswell cut it off. He was looking for Stevens. Back to Seymour. Back to Creswell. Creswell out wide to Crouch. Good fly, good mark in front of Bickley.
Well, Gerald Hart told us that they weren't hard enough in the first half. They obviously got a tongue lashing, according to Curls, at half-time, but it hasn't made any difference, Bruce. They haven't scored. They might be shell-shocked.
Saddington, ball comes to ground. Luff. Crows trying to keep it outside that 50. In there was Bolton. Smart can't get through Kelly and Kirk. And the tackling, we've seen some really good examples today of the fierce tackling of the Swans. And they've been able to hold it up.
Bruce, I think what we've seen today is a coach's dream. All the players are just playing so well and just delivering the ball so well.
Yeah, the perfect match almost, Neil, and the right blokes with the script has been written. Creswell's kick, Lockett at the back, plugged it almost. Off the ground, Rasciuto found the line. Neil, do you think this team could make a challenge from back in 8th position from what you've seen today, the Swans?
Well, if they produce this type of football, they're capable of beating anybody, but they're not the most consistent side of the business.
Well, they wouldn't be there if they were, would they, with the talent they've got? The record in Sydney this year has been terrible, really. 5 wins from 11 matches. We're going to at least get to 50%. Rasciuto to Smart, to Hart. Ben Hart at centre wing, Luff chasing, Hart good kick to big kick. Well, that was a terrific build-up. The Crows have probably had 3 or 4 very good build-ups today, but the Swans, they've had 15 or 16.
Yeah, great kick by Ben Hart. He kicked nice and hard out in front of Brian Benke, who's probably been their only quarter really shown a bit of an effort so far.
So they've got the 1 goal, but he's had some chances. He's hooked that one again, and again, the Swans take the mark.
It's like young Heath James.
Yeah. He's a good player, this kid. Neil would remember his dad, Maxie James, for Port Adelaide pretty well, Neil.
Quite a capable player, yes. And played, I think, for old South Melbourne, wasn't it?
Yep, the Swans. James has kicked to Dunkley. Well, it's too easy. To Lewis. To Luff. It's got Philandia. Goes to him now. Philandia inside. Well done, Smart. Well done, Binky. Well done by him, too, to get back after having a shot for goal. Boundary throw-in.
Well, Smart and Hart have tried really hard, I think, for the Crows today. What do you think, Curls?
Just want to untangle myself from these players.
Schwartz nearly collected your Curls, didn't he?
Smart, I nearly gave one.
Smart and Hart have tried hard for you today.
They really have. They've just had too many people coming at them.
There's Smart just thumping the ball back towards the boundary line. Lewis in front of Trent Ormond-Allen beats him over the line.
I'll tell you what, KB, some really good young players in the Sydney Swans. We've got, of course, Good down the side, young Kirk, we've got James, Crouch has been excellent, and young Jude Bolton, so their future looks very promising for the Sydney Swans.
Adelaide's last score, you can see there, 28.5-minute mark of the second term. Hart burrows into the ball, swashes over the top, the ball up. Well, they haven't scored in this third quarter, the Adelaide Crows. Still 3-6-24. They trailed by 52 points at half-time. It's a 17-6 to 3-6, so 14 goals. Great performance by the Swans. Ormond-Allen to Goodwin. It's a hurried kick, finds Jarman. He's on the half-forward line. He's 2 kicks out from goal. Centres the ball. It's a good kick and finds Stevens. Doesn't gain much ground, just opened up the face a little bit.
Feast on, luck off.
Long lead, he's looking for Jamison. Pulled off the ball, that time by Seymour. Now, advantage has been paid for the Swans. Philandia comes away and finds Kirk, who does look a likely type. Heath James wants it out wide. Dropping in his Feast, and in front of him is Philandia. They look like twins. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. All over again, playing for Sydney today. Stevens, defensive 50. Feast comes in hard. Does well. The young man from Sturt rockets the ball back. Philandia pumps it inside 50. Bickley showed tremendous courage. Plugger comes over the top.
Free kick.
And Bickley will take a free.
He was gutsy this Bickley.
Ooh, I think you put that in the top shelf of guts, that one.
Yeah, terrific effort by Mark Bickley. It's the way he plays his football. Very courageous player, the captain.
Out wide, gets to Hart. Hart along the line to centre wing. Cut off by Lewis, who's having a very good match. Getting fitter as the weeks go on. Back to Bond, towards the line, out of play. 108 to 24 if you've just switched on. Lockett's got 6, Kelly's got 3. Schwass, Lewis and Bolton a couple each, and for the Crows, Burton 2 and Binky 1 other lot. They've had 9 first-year players, the Swans, this year. Richard Collis was telling us that in game day, and got a fair bit to look forward to, even though their great player is going to retire this year. There's a good future. Creswell, missed by Saddington. He's in his 2nd year, and he's a beauty. Saddington out wide. They can raffle this. Kirk, he just gets involved so quickly, doesn't he? Gets amongst it. Kicks to Dunkley. Good hands, Dunkley. Kelly. Little one. Good. To Nix. Now, Nix a good kick. Plugger's in the goal square. Nix is going to set it up for him. Can Lockett take one? No, it went early. It's a behind. Plugger's probably getting tired, to be honest.
Yeah, he might be pretty tired now, Bruce. He's kicked 6 goals and been a great player.
He's been so high too, hasn't he?
He has jumped up very high today, and just a couple of moves that Malcolm Blight's changed. He's got Costa now and Creswell, and Brett Burton will be running with Wayne Swass.
McLeod in the back pocket. They trail by 85 points. Risciuto struggled on Paul Kelly today. Stevens has the ball punched away, pounced on by Burton. Tries to set up inside the centre square. It's a good kick. He finds Bickley. Goes wide. Pittman's the option. Backing back was Nix. Did well. James feeds the ball out. Jamison back to Tyson Edwards. Taken away by Nix. Look away handball. Matthews caught. Too strong. Just ripped himself away from the tackle and puts the ball back over the line.
There are team rules nowadays, boys, that you have to follow your opponent. I'm amazed that Bassett hasn't tried to take Lockett down the ground.
I suppose you're probably right there, Curl. A bit like Steve Paxman, Port Power, always runs down the ground. It's probably a call he could probably use.
Feast got his hands on the ball. Stevens pushed out that time to Bond. There was no free. Kelly happy to see Goodwin run it over the line.
So nothing happening for the Crows. They're scoreless in this term. Simon Goodwin, a couple of premierships in a short career today. But the mighty can fall in sport and in life in general, and we've seen it in the last season for the Crows. Saddington, quick kick away by Crouch. Risciuto with Philandia and Stafford. They worried Risciuto out of Philandia, down low. Smart's got him. You could see it coming, couldn't you? Gee, he takes the battering, does Philandia.
Courage, isn't he? Just a great little player, and all courage. He's done all the hard work. He got through his opponents. But good running by Nigel Smart to run him down. No free kick there. Just quickly, Creswell's at 30 touches so far already, and Wayne Swass with 22. Probably 2 of the best players on the ground at the moment.
Philandia often provides that spark. He ignites them, doesn't he? The catalyst for some energy. Pittman hurled up, one hand, and the Crows hold up the Swans. Kelly's in there. Might be a free kick here against James to Kelly, I think. So it's a bit undisciplined. Wide to Kirk. Kirk's already kicked one. He's off. He can kick another one. He's 45 metres out. He doesn't miss this youngster. He doesn't miss.
Feeling out of shape? Then get fit.
I don't have a personal trainer. You do now.
The Toolman way.
I'm the man. Hey!
Chest bumping, something you never see 2 women do.
I'd pay a lot of money to see it, though.
Home Improvement, tonight, 7:30. Then, when death comes knocking,
Whoa!
some see the light.
Follow your dream.
And some simply don't get it.
I am going to have a near-death experience if it kills me.
Third Rock, tonight at 8 on Channel 7.
Well, he's got a good attribute, young Brett Kirk. The fact is he's a finisher and a goal kicker. Very handy in football. The Swans been magnificent today. Lewis Caught that time by Costa, but again, just shrugs him off. Here's Plugger. Too big. Too good.
See, Lewis's aggression in the centre is symbolic of the way Sydney have played today.
Yeah, no doubt. And Kim Costa, Bruce, been a pretty good player for the Adelaide Crows. Just pushed him away there. And it's always going to be a problem for Nathan Bassett. One-on-one, just stand there with the big fella, Tony Lockett. Just a bit too strong in that area.
They've really got the whips out, Sydney now.
Oh, yeah, girls.
Tony Lockett has booted 6. 2 in the first quarter, 3 in the second term, and he's kicked 1 so far in this third quarter. Crows haven't troubled the scorer in this third term.
Yeah, we haven't paid much attention to the Swans' defence. They've been magnificent back there.
This percentage is getting better and better, isn't it, this percentage?
There's a great shot from the Channel 7 cameras right behind Plugger Lockett. Going for his 7th, splits the centre.
Second time this year he's finished 7 goals in a game. He's a man for the big occasion. The last time he kicked 7, the only other time this year was the day that he broke Gordon Coventry's record. He kicked 9 that day.
Yeah, it's just been a sensational player, and only kicked 7 straight so far. I think he didn't kick the point, so he's been outstanding.
Kicked 1 out of bounds on the
full.
A long way out in the second quarter, into the breeze, Dougie.
Yeah, so he hasn't even kicked the point, so he's been in great touch, and there we go. His last game of the Sydney Cricket Ground, what a best way to go, and he might even kick 10 here today.
Well, he did kick 16 straight once against Fitzroy.
16. It's a big number, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you say it slowly. Bond gets it. Kicks to centre half forward. Stevens had a crack at it. There's that defence, Curls, you were talking about. Young James that time.
Yeah.
O'Connor. Gee, Lewis is having a big one. Kicks the ball to centre wing. Finds Feast. 19-7 to 3-6. The Swans' record score against the Crows is 20 goals, 24. Lockett. No, well done, Bassett, front spot. The ball outside 50. Maxfield, the handball back in. Crouch. Maxfield hasn't had a lot of on the ground time today. Bassett holds him up, baller. Yeah, 20 goals, 24 is their all-time record. Round 5, 1995. They're at 19 goals, 7. Well, I think they're going to break the record. They need about another 3 and a bit goals. They've got a quarter to go.
Are the Crows looking at their smallest score yet, Bruce?
I need to get my book out, KB.
Just tell us, Bruce, can you?
Feast. There's a comeback to Crouch. I've got a whole lot of stats going through my head at the moment for Plugger. Leave me alone, KB. I'm trying to work a few things out.
Kills might know.
Crouch to Lockett. Not quite well done, Bassett. Kelly, McLeod. There's a couple of champs together. Well done, McLeod. McLeod inside. Probably was out of play. Smart. Back to McLeod. McLeod at half-back. Tucks it under the arm. Wobbly old kick into the centre. Not good one for Stevens. Stevens outnumbered to Kirk. And another wonderful quarter for Sydney. They kicked 6 in the first. They kicked 6 in the second. They kicked 7 in the third. And the Crows didn't score. Did not score. Lockett's got 7. Could he kick 10? Young Kirk has been a beauty. We're in for a record-breaking last quarter, you'd reckon. Well, Bliney's done a few things at three-quarter time over the years. I just wonder, I think he'll say to himself, well, no, they've tried, they've been outgunned. It's hardly worth it. We'll see anyway. He's been a man who surprised us in the past. Could Plugger do it? 3 more in the last? Wouldn't that be fitting?
Well, I think he's got a fantastic chance of doing that, Bruce, because he's in scintillating form, and I think they'll look for him his last game at the SCG.
Look at that, 121 to 24. 7 in his last game here at the SCG. The Crows are 3-6.
7 Sport hope you're enjoying this match as part of the 1999 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership season.
So that's the situation here. Now, the other games, look away if you don't want to know the scores at three-quarter time. We're going to start with Brisbane and Freo. Are taking replays. Rodney, I think he'd be saying now, come on, this has been sensational, let's keep going. The AFL website, a reminder about the website as Tyson Edwards goes off. So much to see on it these days, not only the results of these games and all the stats that are associated with it, but can really order everything you like from the marketing department of the AFL. It's .afl.com.au. Steve Malaxos with Neil Curley. Neil, it's been a dream for the coaching staff, I reckon.
Certainly has, Bruce. Well, Steve, it's been a great day for you so far.
So far it has. The boys have played really well. We hope we can finish it off in the last quarter.
It's just, somebody wrote the script, didn't they? It was just too good, this.
Well, we haven't had one of these days all year, and yeah, we really needed to win, and everything's fallen our way today. But we played well, we've used the ball well, and Adelaide have just had a bit of an off day to a certain extent.
Well done, all the best. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce.
Thanks, Neil. With Steve Malaxos. Tony Lockett, 22 times in his career he's kicked 10 goals or more. Could he do it again? Here he's on 7.
Looks like Jamison Bruce now has gone the full back to pick up Tony Lockett. Nathan Bassett has been replaced.
And Hart's on Stafford, so they're outgunned in terms of height. Feast, it has been that, hasn't it, today? To Creswell. It's been a famine for one team and a feast for the other. Kelly tucks it under his arm and then kicks to Lewis in the pocket. Good take. Did he control it? Gee, it's all happening. Lewis banks it in, ordinary kick, bouncing ball. Hart did very well, but he's in trouble. Stafford's got him. It's somewhere between Lockett's legs. He's trying to get it out. Rashudo's with him, ball up.
It's a great mark by Dale Lewis. He has missed a fair bit of football this year, but over the last couple of weeks, he's certainly starting to find his feet. Free in one hand and great control by Dale Lewis. He used the ball beautifully today.
Pittman to Smart. He's really battled Smart, hasn't he? He's had a good match. Stevens there, cut off by James. Don't think he's made a blue since he's come on. To Kirk. He can find Kirk a bit, James, can't he? The two kids are looking after each other.
They're waxing.
Kirk, now Lockett's at centre-half forward. He's going to pop it a bit further than that. Rashudo caught underneath. Kelly snatched it away with a beauty. He's taken some wonderful marks today, Paul Kelly.
I think in all fairness there, Paul Kelly shouldn't have marked this. I mean, Mark Rashudo's in a perfect spot to take the mark, went late, and Kelly's just come over the back and said, well, I'll take this one. She's been fantastic, Paul Kelly.
He's had a good goal-scoring day himself. He's kicked 3 so far today. He might have missed it. Disappointing result. So 3-3 to Kelly. Might be 3-4 actually. And the Swans are 19-8 to 3-6. I tell you, I reckon this is the coldest day I can remember in Sydney for a footy game.
It is cold, Bruce. Well, we're up pretty high here, Bruce. Might have a night's cap above us.
You reckon it's cold up there? You want to come down here?
Bond goes short, finds the skipper in Bickley, gives it across the Hart, edge of the centre square to the half-forward line, who's looking for Pittman. Feast. Well, he's got better as this season has gone on. Finds Flandia. They like waxing the ball as well. Peter Flandia. Oh, look at this. Is an easy mark for Stafford. Where was his opponent, Curls?
There he's here, David Pittman.
I thought it was Orman Allen. Where is he?
Orman Allen.
I think Ben Hart's on him, to be honest.
I think you might be right too. You did call that, Bruce, at the start of this quarter, yeah. We did say the match-up with Jamison going to full back on the lock, and you did say that it looked like Hart was playing on Stafford, who's joining the forward line for the Swans.
Well, he's kicked 1-1. He kicked the goal in the second quarter. Greg Stafford will be shooting from right on 50 into a bit of a breeze, so the ball just might hold up close to the line. Here's Plugger. Get his fist to the ball. Taken away by Bickley to Smart. He's tried hard today. Gets the ball back. Swash has been so good. Chance for Feast. Leaves it for his teammate in Dunkley. They share the ball around. Back to Swash through the centre square. Looks for Lewis. Good hands out in front of Goodwin. Plugger is prowling. He's booted 7. And he kicked 10 in his last game at the SCG. Here's a chance from behind. 2 grabs in the back. To push out. The Booze.
Good decision, I think.
Accompany David Howlett's decision here. So Plugger getting the back of Jamison. Smart. Defensive 50. Wants to go wide. Smart to Hart. They have tried so hard for the Crows today. Nix is a running half-back. He's booted 8 goals for the season. Free kick to Hart, who goes short and finds Costa.
Between centre wing and half forward. Little one. And good mark coming in from the side. Wonderful grab. Is that James?
Young James.
Gee, he could take a mark, this kid.
Good pair of hands. The old man can mark the ball pretty good too.
James has kicked the centre wing, marked by Nix, and then runs off. That's his trademark, isn't it? Goes his full measure, kicks to Stafford. Look at the height advantage on Hart.
Well, what can you do there for your Malcolm Blight? I mean, he's got Pippen in the ruck, certainly given away a lot of inches. Ben Hart. Ben Hart's probably been the best player, I reckon, today for the Adelaide Crows and gave him plenty of run. Ball's gone back to Greg Stafford. Probably had a shot from there.
And also, Pippen has just been taken off the ground for some reason.
Okay.
So Greg Stafford, not an easy kick into the breeze.
Maybe you may see Orman Allen flying for the ruck yet.
Gee, they'd be pleased with Stafford's form, thinking of the big jobs to come for the rest of this year.
He was great last week too, Bruce, against the Kangas.
Good kick. He's got it.
It can happen at any time. You're building a bridge or moving a fridge and you feel like you're just gonna burst. You sure got a thirst. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. You're shoveling sand or building a dam. You can get it any old how. Matter of fact, I got it now. Victoria Bitter.
Well, the Crows haven't scored since half-time, Bruce. They've got 3-6-24. Where does that stand?
4-7's their all-time record low score. That was against the Saints. Ironically, Plugger played that day and kicked 12 when he's playing for the Saints.
Oh, well, everyone's entitled to an off day. Swats goes to ground, they pile on top.
So 4-7's their lowest score since coming into the comp in 91, and they're on 3-6.
You just think, you know, Bruce and KB, they're playing for a chance to keep their finals hope. Well, this is their Waterloo today. This is it for them. And they really haven't given a real yelp, have they?
Dunkley on the interchange bench. Feast slaps the ball out. Taken by Rashudo, just tumbled it. Blandy was caught high. A pocket dynamo.
He don't be replaced by Love.
Well, a team lifting passage are playing the second quarter by Peter Flandier. Might have just about kick-started them. Feast through the hands. Taken by Rashudo. This is marking Bond. Comes away from half-back. A casual bounce. Hugs the boundary line. Drills it up. There's a great grab. Been taken by Tyson. Handball was poor. Bond able to run onto it. Hart never stops running. Drills it inside 50. Wharf had it, lost it. James loves to set it up. Quick snap to the square. Binky's there off hands. And through for a behind.
First score since half-time, KB.
First score since half-time. And not lost on the crowd here at the SCG.
They've learnt fast over the years, those Sydney crowd, haven't they?
Well, the floodgates are opened up now.
Well, they've been a great side, haven't they, the Crows, the last 2 years. They had 2 premierships in a row, and a few injuries, too, certainly has cost them this year as well.
But this hasn't been a good performance, Doug. Joe Hart said at half-time that they were very disappointed. They weren't hard enough at the ball. I mean, it was not an inference, it was a direct statement that they just didn't attack the ball with any ferocity at all. Stevens, edge of the centre square, it's a poor kick. Troy Love, just come off the interchange bench. They share it around. Young James looks a player of the future along with Kirk. Here's Swash. Well, he set him up along with Creswell in that first quarter. They had it 25 times between them. And he must pole well on the Brownlow medal, Wayne Swash. Looking for Plugger. Off hands, couldn't take it. Second grab, Kelly to be keen to find his mate Plugger. Impossible angle. Centres the ball back towards Stafford. Loose ball. Here comes Kelly. Goes to ground. Plugger comes in. He's dragged to the ground. It was a great tackle. Bickley heads towards the line. Big Plugger gets up.
Yeah, you caught it right, KB. It was a great tackle. I think it was Mark Rashudo.
Yeah, it was. The
he
ball
just held on and went for a ride.
Full marks to Rashudo. Yeah, it's not hard, too hard to actually bring Lockett down, but he did well. Stafford, great tap over the back. Bolton gives the ball back to Fleandia. Some pushing and shoving. Lewis got his hands on the ball. Squashing the goal square. Can he kick it off the ground? He's got it. 3 goals.
How nervous would you be?
You've staked everything you have on this.
How nervous would you be?
Your first answer is the one that counts.
If you were only questions away from scoring $1 million.
You're right. $130,000, and if you're wrong, it's big oops.
Join the fun of Australia's richest quiz. $7 million chance of a lifetime. Monday, 7:30.
Well, this is a magnificent performance by one team. I reckon Curls is like the bad old days, isn't it? A couple of those performances earlier on.
Yes, certainly is. They seem to be outclassed all over the ground.
Yeah.
You got four guys from the Sydney Swans, namely Creswell, Lewis, Kelly, and Squash, just absolutely slaughtering them in midfield.
No doubt about that, Neil. Stevens under the pump from Bolton and again a ball up. Well, there's a commitment here. You can tell it now from the Swans to make this a glorious day, and they've done it. And they will keep going. They're very tired, but they're not going to let up. Kirk read it fast, then dropped it. Luck, good tackle. Jarman and Edwards. About 4 or 5 minutes ago, the Crows were streaming forward. Jarman was completely on his own, and the kick came in and went straight to Luck, who was about 15 metres away. Jarman probably hasn't dug in as much today as he should have, but he was pretty frustrated on that occasion. In fact, he's probably symbolic of what Adelaide have done here today. They've got 3 or 4 blokes that have given their best. I think Costa's one of them. Smart certainly is one of them. James getting it to Smart. Just dropped it, play on. Kelly sweeps the handball. It's exciting stuff. Stuart Maxwell on the burst. Handball to Lewis. Breaks one, breaks two. It's close. It bounces, it misses. Well, Lewis has played the best game of his year. He's only had 8 matches this year, but this is his best by a street.
It certainly is. He's used the ball very well as Curl settling. Creswell and Squash have been outstanding. And with Kelly's handball, that probably 20 metres. It's like getting a kick.
Rashudo sends the ball back into play. Long bomb is Stevens from behind. And young James also claiming the mark. The umpire can't make a decision on this one. Umpire Hayden Kennedy. So a ball up. 60 metres out. That young man on screen, Heath James, he does look a player of the future. He's got a good pair of hands.
Edwards up, Atkinson on.
Feast gets the ball down to Maxfield. Try to just barge his way through the shadows. Feast back to Maxfield. What a goal! Incredible!
An ordinary family man.
Everybody gets scared.
We're losing our brakes.
If you don't stop, a lot of people might get killed.
Must find true courage, face his deepest fears.
Not enough time. You're in.
And become a city's only home.
It's carrying a nuclear weapon.
Tonight and tomorrow, 8:30.
There's 1 million residents. Rush to evacuate.
Just hold your breath. For the atomic train on 7.
Well, it's all happening, isn't it? Their highest score this year is 22-13 against Collingwood when Flucker broke Gordon Coventry's record. So the Swans are surely going to kick their best score for the year. And the Crows are facing their lowest score in their history. It was in 1991 against the Saints that they kicked 4 goals, 7. Costa. They've got a lot of time to kick a goal, but it's been a long time since they kicked their last. Bickley. We don't wish it on them. Burton got it from Tyson. Let's hope they can do it here. Stevens, unsure, straightens up and misses. It's his 3rd point in the second half. Well, today, I think he did 2 points in the second quarter, streaming down that end.
And McLeod's down in the centre of the ground too. He's hurt himself.
Just very quickly, we just touched on the midfield here at the moment. Sydney Swans had 109 kicks to Adelaide 31. Handball 70. Adelaide 17 and Marks 42-14. Absolutely slaughtered in the midfield.
Looks like he got one of the ribs there to Andrew McLeod. Kirk showed a lot of courage running with a fight of the ball. Binky runs into Seymour, tries to kick the ball off the ground. Kirk successful. Atkinson back on, taken by Kelly. Backtracks. Sydney Swans come forward. Matthews kicks the ball out towards the half-back flank where Luff has pounced on it. Back to Kirk. It'll open up here to Feast. Been pretty impressive today. Feast. It was a look-away kick, looking for Flandia. Here's Swash, hits the ball hard. Creates a crumb. Crouch thought he was momentarily held, taken by Goodwin. Back to Burton. They share it now to Bond. Loose play, opens up wide. Tyson should run in and kick a goal from 45 metres out. Bangs it through. first goal since half-time.
Yeah, certainly, good build up there by the Adelaide Crows. And certainly, we all know quite well they had struggled, eh? Good news for the Crows that Andrew McLeod now is on his feet. Good hands there by Simon Gould and Brett Burton. And good vision here by Troy Bonner. Started the game on the bench and came onto the ground and been a pretty reasonable player. And a good kick there by James Tyson. That's a goal the Crows wanted.
He's wounded at the moment, this young champion McLeod, isn't he? But, well, Tyson's goal puts the Crows out of its misery in terms of their lowest ever against all clubs. They're not going to get to their lowest previously against the Swans. Matthews, Lockett, wonderful mark. Floating ball, caught underneath almost. Beautiful hands. Good attack by Feast. This for the Swans' biggest score for the year. And getting very close to their biggest score ever against the Crows. It's 20 goals, 24. Well, could Plugger get 10? He's on 7.
How many times he kicked 10, Bruce? Kicked 10 a few times?
22 times he's kicked 10 in his career. Nobody's got even close to that. Straight in front. He's got 8. He's closing. 8 to Lockett. I reckon they'll try and get him 10 here. 23-9 to 4-8.
Yeah, I think you're right. You caught it right there, Bruce. Young Simon Peters brought in the ruck to give Greg Stafford a bit of a spell. Great left-hand tap. I think it was Ben Matthews that may have kicked that ball out of the centre with clean play by him. And big Tony Pluckett just too big and too strong for Ron Jamison this stage of the game. He may get 10.
Plugger has kicked 8 goals straight. 2 in the first quarter, 3 in the second term, 2 in the third quarter. That's his first in this fourth term. Feast doing well in the ruck. Costa goes in hard, taken away by Stevens. Feeds the ball out to Beckley. The tackler was Maxfield. Atkinson just pumps the ball back inside 50. Luft has been magnificent all day. On the burst, comes away, sets it up to Swap. Plenty of run out of the fence. Seymour, casual bounce, takes him on, runs to the edge of the centre square, looking for Plugger. Saddington got in his way, dragged to the ground, loose ball, kicked down by Crouch. This is going to bounce further. When you're hot, you're hot.
When you're red hot, KB, you're right. Good play here by Troy Luck to come down the ground. He gave it away in squash with great vision. Tony Lockett right up the ground for the first time outside, probably 50 all day. A kick from Jamison found Jared Crouch. He was scrambling the ball forward. A bit of luck, he's a sausage roll.
Swans have got their highest score ever against the Crows. 24-9 they are to 4 goals, 8. It's been an extraordinary day. If anyone did peek a look at one of those scoreboards earlier today, one team today has kicked the all-time record score to half-time. Can't tell you who it was, just in case.
Taking a replay.
Yeah. Bond. It's the sort of thing you want to know so you can watch it. Bond's kicked the ball forward. Oh, good grab, Binky. I think Creswell was there with Seymour, and Binky's taken the mark over the top. He deserves his second goal, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does, Bruce. And I think we've touched on the good young players from the Sydney Swans. Young Brian Binky certainly has a great future with the Adelaide Crows. Probably only played, I'm not quite sure, many games, but he's got a good pair of hands and does have a bright future.
It's his 9th game.
9th game, yeah, so he does have a bright future for the Crows.
Straight in front. Oh, he might have missed it. I can't believe it.
He hasn't, has he?
Well, he deserves better, doesn't he? Gee, Neil, it's been one of those days, hasn't it?
Don't get much worse than that.
Just the 1 goal since half-time for the Adelaide Crows. Nix. Time clock ticking away. Just over 6.5 minutes left. Plugger's kicked 8. Troy Luck just continues to dominate in the air. It's been magnificent.
GKB, I hate to try and work out the number of high marks taken by the Sydney boys as opposed to the Crows.
It's a good point, Curls. Smart sets himself. Kelly was the high flyer. Does some more work at ground level. Smart tries to bullock his way through. It's on the half-forward line for the Swans. It's all tied up. a ball up. 153 plays 33. 20-point lead for the Sydney Swans. Trent Orman-Allen thumps the ball down. Philandia. A little pocket dynamo. Those legs pumping like pistons. Back to Kirk. Tumbles the ball forward. Risciuto did well. Hit the ball hard. Kept his line. Back to James. Smart. Transfer of play. His partner in crime today in Hart. They have battled so hard for the Crows. Thumps the ball back to the half ball. It's a great kick to Jarman. He should kick a goal. 45 metres out. Even the great man himself can't find the big sticks. It's his first score today. Kicked 55 goals coming into this game. They've just had the 4 goals today. 2 to Brett Burton, 1 to Benke, and 1 to James Tyson.
I think you're right, KB. 9 times out of 10, Darren Jarman would just put that straight through the middle.
Feast got up, so did Burton to Schwass, and the ball's out of play. 24-9 to 14. It's a remarkable scoreline. It's been a remarkable match. I must say, it has been an enjoying match to watch in so many ways. I mean, people in Adelaide will hate me for saying that, but its skill level has been so good from the Swans, and
so bad from Adelaide.
I guess so. Yeah, it's probably been too one-sided, but seeing this crowd lapping it up and Lockett's last game and all of that, it's really been an unforgettable afternoon. Schwass to Bolt. I think you've probably got to be unbiased to say that'll be very good for the Swans, admittedly, but Swans have turned it on. Kelly, terrific grab. Marvellous mark. Now Pluggers on 8, not long to go. The kick to Stafford. Hart, Atkinson, ball loose. James, still loose. Philandia comes out. Little give. Atkinson, Stafford, wonderfully done. James went without it. Orman-Allen ricochets away. Comes back to Kirk. Pops it to the pocket. Jarman's happy to see it go out.
Actually, you're right, Bruce. It doesn't quite matter who you barrack for. You just have to appreciate good footy.
Yep.
And Sydney certainly have turned it on today.
Dale Lewis sitting it out. Creswell sitting it out. Dunkley sitting it out. There'll be a celebration at the end too. Kirk kept low, hook. Which way will it bounce? It bounces very well. Almost to the square. Jamison finds the line. Plugger's probably not going to get there, but just to put it into perspective, the great 10 goal kickers, McKenna's number 3 on the all-time list 13 times, Dunstall number 2, 16, Lockett 22. It just shows you the bags, the big bags, nobody's done it better. Hart, terrific stuff to Jarman. Had a very quiet one. Beautiful kick. You know he can do that to Tyson. James Tyson has kicked the goal in the last quarter. He might kick 2. That's a good kick. Great well kick. Done. Well done. Tyson second. Crows have got 5. 5-10 to 24-9.
Yeah, I just reckon half a dozen times today they've used the ball beautifully. No better than Ben Hart out of that back line. He's been one guy, certainly could put his hand up. There's the branch that Darren Jarman was going to handball, changed his mind in mid-flight, and his kick absolutely spot on the fine James Tyson. Been a pretty good player in their forward line, and he's kicked 2 goals in this quarter now for the Adelaide Crows.
Just under 4 minutes left in this final quarter. 24-9 to 5-10. Then Plugger kicked 10 goals. Got 2 to go. Matthews, handy player, great smother off the boot. Bickley, he's caught. They've been absolutely ferocious today, the Sydney Swans. Matthews tries to find Burton, pops it up. And there's Matthews again. Much improved player. Starting to find his mark in AFL football, looking for Saddington, hitting the ball hard was Bond. Some great run by Smart. He's tried hard. Tried to set it up here to Stevens. The handball's an absolute shocker. It was meant for Jarman. War just slides past his opponent. Maxfield's kicked a miracle goal this last quarter. Centres the ball. Great grab taken by James. This kid can play. Edge of the centre square, kicks long. Plugger and Stafford. Big fist away. Schwass thought he had it and lost it. Backtracks. Puts his boot to the ball. Feast can't get there. This man can. Ben Hart. Kicks wide. Finds Atkinson. To Bond. Loose player again has been set up. Stevens, 45 metres out. Hits the post.
Well, he's stiff. McLeod was all on his own. Centre-half forward. Stevens has kicked 4 points at that end of the ground today. Swans streaming forward and creating an opportunity for the Crows on the turnovers in this last quarter. They're trying desperately to create things, I think, for Plugger. I think the big fella might have run his race, and what a race it's been.
Been a great, absolute champion, Bruce. And I tell you, they go to the Wacker next week, the Swans, to take on Freo next Saturday night, so they have a lot of confidence.
Matthews got it from Nix, kicks it wide. Jarman held on to probably with Feast and a boundary throw. Gee, their percentage is going to take a turn for the better today. It's going to steeply rise. It's going to make the Saints' job very difficult. And teams like Geelong and Hawthorn, who may be chasing, almost impossible. Probably one of those teams may be put out of the equation today. We'd have to look at that later on tonight. Schwass to Matthews along the line. One thing's for certain, the Crows are out of the equation after today. And I guess Port Adelaide is sitting back thinking, well, we've got the derby next week against the Crows. Surely Adelaide will lift for that. They will be a very different team when they go to Football Park next week. They'll have to be. James, good start to Schwass. Schwass for goal. Schwass for goal. Another one. Can you believe it? They've kicked the most extraordinary goals from Dale Lewis in the opening minutes all the way through. Wayne Schwass kicks his fourth.
Well, there it is. Simon Feast, a great tap out. Very quick hand there from the Sydney Swans play, which I failed to pick up.
Following James, wasn't it?
James, very, very quick by young Heath James. Hit the ball across to Wayne Schwass. Wayne Schwass has been in absolutely outstanding form. Continued on from last year, just absolutely brilliant here today.
Wayne Schwass had 5 goals for the season. Coming into this game, he's booted 4 goals today. Feast puts his hands on the ball first. Atkinson to Costa. Inside 50. Luff tries to take a one-hander. War didn't really quite hit his mark. Nix on hands and knees all the time in the world. To Seymour, weaves his way out of heavy traffic. Sets it up wide. Finds Matthews. He's a good player. Back towards the half-forward line. Flandia tried to take a one-hander. Bond looked like he threw the ball. Goodwin back to Bond. They've been under pressure across half-back all day. Tyson spitted a couple of goals in this last quarter. Spent a lot of time on the bench. Ryan O'Connor. Kirk. Another impressive young player for the Swans. This time the kick's a poor one. Beats Luff over the line. 25-9. Plays 5-11. Just over a minute left. Throw in on 50. Feast and Stevens. Tyson under pressure, 2 against 1. Good enough to get the ball out to Bickley. Bombs the ball to the square. It's one for the high flyers, Benke, but O'Connor gets back. Ooh, some of the Swans players might be just reaching their peak fitness. O'Connor's missed a lot of football this year. Stafford's missed football. Kelly's had a lot of injuries. Looks very sharp today. Matthews. DeLuff. Over the top was Smart. The big fist away. Crouch. Kicks wide to Feast. Keeps the ball alive. Young man from Sturt making his mark in the game. To Maxfield. Carries at the half-forward line. Here's Plugger. One last hurrah. Thumps the ball away. Kelly in flight, beaten by Bond. De Costa pumps the ball back. Standing under the ball. That's a good mark by Burton.
Yeah, a lot of courage there, Kevin. And that's it. That'll be it. 159-41. Plugger's going to kick 8 in his final match here. The records have been broken, left, right and centre. Security guards envelop the stadium. What a day to remember. This icon of Australian sport. goals is the official bag. When you kick 7, you've kicked the bag. Plugger's kicked 7 goals on 74 occasions in his career. 18 times here at the SCG. Got 8 today. Neil, try and get a word with him if you can. He's kept the ball. He's got Bickley. I think, Curls, you summed it up beautifully. If you appreciate footy today, you've got to love what you've seen. I know the pros have been humiliated. They've had a shocking day, but they've had some mighty moments. And Tony Lockett has had a wonderful day here in Sydney. Neil, he's with you now.
Well, Tony, your last game on the Sydney Cricket Ground, it's not a bad way to go out, this one.
Yeah, I mean, been a bit unlucky the last couple of weeks against Essendon and North Melbourne, but the boys really knuckled down today. We had a great win, and yeah, we were pumped up for it, I think.
That's about as good as I think I've seen you boys play since you've been up here.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've been playing some good footy, but just patches we've been letting ourselves down. But today was, you know, pretty much a 4-quarter effort, I think.
And your midfield, particularly, say, Swans, Lewis, Kelly, they keep feeding the boys.
Yeah, they were terrific today, and you know, they've been pretty good all year. So, you know, we're 3 great players, and we really need them firing this time of year.
Girls,
great game for you to remember, by. Great game for you to remember.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Back to you, boys.
Curls, can you just grab him? Just wonder what he thinks. It's the last time he's out there today. He's probably going to go away with the team now and celebrate. That's fair enough. So that's good. The memories will flood back, won't they? I mean,
a lot of players would like to be kicking 8 goals at the start of their career, Bruce, not at the end.
So many memories here. I mean, he came here as one of the great players anyway when he arrived in town. Wanted to get away from Melbourne.
His most famous kick was probably not a goal.
Behind, yes, to get them into the grand final in '96. But so many great memories for Tony on this ground, and this is the last time that he'll play here. In this incredible career that he's had.
He had some big games up here for St Kilda. He kicked 12 one day. Yeah. And that big comeback for the Saints against Sydney.
11 another time for the Saints here. But
it's a long year in it, Bruce and KB. It's a long year when you get that age. It's a really long year late in the season. I just reckon, looking at Tony today, in my opinion, I reckon he can go around again. I mean, a light pre-season, but anyway, he decided to give away.
It's given this state, this club, this city, so much. And Australian footy in general. Have a look at that. Can I have your boots, Plugger?
I think this is a good move to run around the centre square, not the boundary line.
A great shot, actually, isn't it? Of Tony. He has risen to enormous heights in this city. Richard Collins said on game day that he's arguably the biggest personality in this city. The city that will host the Olympics next year, the lovely winner. And we talked about that delicious irony of him coming here wanting some anonymity. At the end of probably where he'd come to the end of his tether at St Kilda and Moorabbin after a glorious career there. And yet now, he stands above all the players that have probably ever played the game in terms of his popularity and his notoriety and his fame. There, I don't think there's ever been a more famous player, footballer, around the length and breadth of this country. Everybody in Australia knows who Plugger is. I'm not sure that we could ever have said that about any AFL/VFL footballer before. Teddy and Barras, great names. Look, they didn't see him play. They've actually had a chance to come and watch this fella turn it on. And turn it on he has so often. He's a beauty, isn't he? He's done it all. And today, at the end, he kicked 8. And Plugger, we'll never forget you, mate. Ever, ever, ever. Thanks for it all. The last time. And those blokes did him proud, every last one of them. From the youngies to the elders. They played their heart out. It's one of the best moments that any player, and I reckon any spectator and any commentator could live. Now we can slow down and walk down slowly with them.
One of a kind, Bruce. One of a kind.
Well, these are the moments that I guess you've got to play it at your level like you did, Kevin and Doug and Neil. Here we go, to appreciate it. Well, they can look forward to something now, can't they, the Swans?
Well,
they
today
can
they were
look
very
forward
good.
to September.
It was hard just to gauge how good they were today because against Adelaide was so poor, but they were very sharp.
They were razor sharp. In the end, it was 25-9 to 5-11.
The Paris-Dakar Rally, 7,000 kilometres across the scorching deserts of North Africa. In a race that most don't even finish, the mighty Pajero has dominated. Its nearest rival, the mid-sized Mitsubishi Challenger. Now Mitsubishi has developed the Pajero EO, all the toughness and durability you'd expect, but in a more compact form. Mitsubishi, the toughest four-wheel drives from here to Timbuktu. It is Mitsubishi.
Hi. Listen, I'm really sorry about what happened. Is there anything I can do to help get your car back on the road?
Well, with Amy, they're taking care of everything.
Quotes?
Done.
Repairs?
Done.
Good quality?
Guaranteed for the life of the car, even if I sell it.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess you don't need me then. Have a nice day.
A free service that takes care of all your post-crash running around. Call Amy now.
Well, I always thought that you had to take your new car back to the dealer to get it serviced. But this friend of mine said that she gets hers serviced at UltraTune. They use all of the right parts and the price is fixed. Hey, they sound pretty good to me.
Come on, baby, let the good times roll. Come on, baby, it'll fill your soul. Come on, baby, let the good times roll. Roll all night long. Come on, baby, yeah, this is it. This is something you just can't miss. Come on, baby, hey, we're on a roll. All day, all night. Let the good times roll.
Just over a year ago, Bob spoke to a CPA for business advice. Ever since, business has been booming because the CPA doesn't just help you with your finances. They help you see the big picture.
You can get it dipping. You can get it chipping. You can get it having a run. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter. You can get it lumping. You can get it thumping. You can get it any old how. Matter of fact, I got it now. Victoria Bitter.
Tonight on a special 1 hour Harry's Practice, putting yourself in an animal's paws.
You'll be well on the way to a happy household.
There's a spot of panel beating for a punch-drunk little guy. That looks pretty good. Tips on looking after a dingo.
High, secure fencing.
Why is Harry mugging this room?
Gotcha!
Plus, we'll show you the high-tech way to stop garden hole diggers, and Katrina introduces a cute and furry friend.
He really is one of the great characters of the dog world.
All on a brand new hour-long Harry's Practice, 6:30 tonight on 7.
Good afternoon. The body of a male Queensland surfer has been found in treacherous waters off Parsons Beach on the far south coast. The man drowned after being caught in a rip. A second man managed to make it to shore and raise an alarm, but his efforts were in vain. And 2 people are recovering in hospital after a fantasy designer drug overdose. They were found on a city pavement. I'll have all the details of all the top stories at 6.
This match in
The words Adelaide has been waiting to hear, but Wren wasn't always so certain. After his 3rd knee reconstruction, the 1994 club champion was ready to quit football until he found inspiration.
Fantastic scrap at Waverley Park. And this side deserves to be known as one of the great sides of our modern game.
I was very, very excited when they won that game, and I just knew straight away that the sort of feeling I had when they won that game was that I wished I was out there playing with them and that I wanted to play again.
And surprisingly just as persuasive was rookie Brett Burton.
It's just taken the whole competition by storm. He's been magnificent. He's had a huge influence on the club this year, and I want to play with him. I can't wait to get out there next year and play footy with the likes of Berts and the rest of them.
Wren's rehab was progressing so well, his surgeon told him he could make it back for the finals, and he let the players know of his major round hopes when their season was on the line.
We've been struggling for a few weeks. Everyone has a bit of a say every now and then.
But to ease the pressure, he shelved plans of an early return. Now he knows his target, round 1 in the year 2000.
You just get fed up with it, and I suppose this is a way of telling everyone, okay, my knee's fine, and I want to play next year. So when you see me, just say good day and don't ask me about my knee, because I'm sick of it.
To golf and